Oh, right. Hey, what's up, guys? Chelsea, welcome back to Fate Grand Order. Last time we finished off the first Lost Belt and captured Katic Zemlupus. And now we're gonna get into the second Lost Belt, but first... we have, something to do. Oh, hey, Meridaki Gogeta. So I've been putting thought into it, and I'm still not entirely sure what I want to go with. I don't know which pool I want to go with. Yeah, I've been agonizing over it, you know. There's this one here with Wangina, Saber Stolfo, and then Tyra. I don't really want Tyra at all. And so I'm like, it's a 33% chance that's who I end up with, right? Then there's this one. This one has very little downside in my mind. Except for Caster Da Vinci. I don't want Caster Da Vinci. There's this one, who I'd be good with anyone except another copy of Castoria Zerker. Never go for GSSR, which has someone you don't. That's the problem. There's only one pool that I'm thinking about that doesn't have someone I don't want. And it's this one, but I don't know. I've been agonizing. Four years ago, I Cliff. Yeah, that's my problem with where is this one? This one is super enticing to me, but Cleo is the one in here I don't want. I'd be happy with Eresh, Caster Nero, Raiko, Ishtar. I'd be happy with any of them except Cleo. Then there's this. This one's pretty good, except I don't really, I don't want a second BB copy. Morgan Koyan and Milcine is... Yeah, it's just... I don't know, man. This one is also super tempting. I don't particularly want Miss Crane. She wouldn't be horrible, but I'd prefer Lady Avalon or Van Gogh from here. It's... that's a tough choice. So this is about free to play. I mean, I'm not gonna pay to, like, get a bunch of Saint Courts to try pulling on normal banners, right? So I feel like I technically, it didn't, yeah. This one would be pretty safe, although Kama I'm like iffy about. This, oh, actually I lied. This is one I also wouldn't mind getting anyone on here. I'd prefer Summer Melu or Summer Ibuki, but I'd be okay with Durga or Pope Johanna, honestly. I don't know. This one's also tempting, but I'm afraid of getting a second Tonalico. Honestly, do I just say fuck it and do this one? and hope I go get one of the other three. I feel like it's either this, or this. This would also be okay, I guess. Oh, too many choices, man. I feel like I should just go for one where I don't have anyone, just to make sure I don't get a double. So honestly, I'll probably go this and hope I get anyone but Cleo. But then there's the Wangina one. I guess I could, if I got Tyra, I could be okay with that, I guess. Man, 33% chance of... Who's Castoria with? She's with these three. I don't really want her or this guy. So I only really care about Scotty and Castoria here. It's too risky. Hey, Holden, hey, V6. Oh, hey, Tipo. Man. This hurts. Wangina was in one of the others as well. Where was the other Wangina? Was it here? No. Where was the other Wangina? Here? No? I know she was in one, or he was in one other one. No? Where was he? Here? No, that was... Here, there we are. But the problem with this one is I don't want her, and I don't want secondary copies of these two. What banners did you choose? I'm currently trying to decide which one I want to go for. I don't really... Like, this one would be okay. I don't particularly want... Who's it? Benny Enma? Don't really want her. Again, this is probably the safest from a pure gameplay standpoint. This is the safest pool of them all, probably. Oh. But in terms of want, I feel like it comes down to this, and hope I don't get Da Vinci. Or this, and hope I don't get Cleopatra. Alright, you know, fuck it. I'm doing this one. I don't... Do I do that, though? This... You know what? Yeah, Spanner has better odds if you're hoping I get one. These three are so tempting. It's so... No, I'm gonna go for a guarantee I get someone new. And I'm gonna hope... Why is this actually, like, so hard to choose? I think this is it. I think this is the one. This is actually kind of agonizing. Yes. Okay. Okay, it's loading, so it's someone new. It has to be someone new, right? Surely? I'm just gonna let it play out. Literally anyone but a second copy of Tonalico. Literally... Brother, come on. Stop edging me and just give me the goddamn... Oh, it's a new craft essence. Fuck. Moon Cancer. Arcwid. Yes! Oh. Okay. That's all right. Probably no double. That would have been, yeah. I think that was that the last one or is there one more? One more. All right. I'll take that.
サーバントというのか。
Yeah.
名はないが、あり方としてはそうだな。原種の一と呼ぶがよい。呼ばれたということは縁があったということ。
Probably because of whatever event she comes from, right?
しばしの間、貴様たちの生存を眺めてやろうでは
At
ない
least I assume she happened in an event. Oh! There we go. Hey, Arkwood. No event. Oh, an anniversary event. Oh, okay.
私の言い分は売っちゃって。こんにちは、カルデアの人。私はムーンキャンサー、アルクエイド・ブリュンスタット。これからよろしくね。すぐにまた霊気第2で会いましょう。
Yep, see you soon. Oh, thank goodness. That's... You know, her Tia... honestly, her Tiamat or Cuckoo I would have been happy with. Just thank goodness it wasn't a second Tonalico. Not that I dislike Tonalico, I just, you know, prefer someone new, you know? Oh, God. That's good. That's good. Okay, let's grab my holy grail for doing that. NP1 hits like a wet noodle though. Yeah, I got Marianning all the way up. Alright, let's go ahead and level Arkwood here. That should be good. See if we get a super great. Yeah, unfortunately no angry mango. I'll be hasty. I will be hasty as a mother trucker. Sorry, we'll get into LB2 here in a minute. I'm just... yeah, I guess. I don't know how much I should read into what she just said. Astral motes.
より重く、より小さく、力を収束するのが良いな。
Alright, well, I don't think we're gonna get any super great successes here. Yeah. Maybe in this last one. There we go. Alright, what do you need to... Okay, okay, I got plenty of those. That's alright. Alright, come on, give me my Arkwood. There we go. That's better. Yeah, you know. You know, your archetype Earth self is nice, but this is definitely my preferred form for sure. Okay. Come on, give me those boosted rates. Okay, frick you, game. Frick you, buddy. Shaking my head. I'm now getting buyer's remorse. I'm like, oh man, what if I had gotten Castor Nero? or Ereshkigal. No, I can't. if I keep thinking about it, it'll just hurt me more. Yeah, you're welcome for using our scant resources on you, Arquid. You're welcome. Yeah. Why wouldn't it be okay? I certainly hope not. Do I have any 4? Actually, wait a minute, hang on. I do have 4 4-star Hellfires. Yoink. Yoinky splunky. Alright. Yeah, I got this one's tickets. Gonna save them up for Ushi. And hopefully Ushi is kind to me and shows up with just the summon tickets so I can save my Saint Gorts, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Yeah, Arigato, we know. Typo. Y'all see that typo? She has an E between the N and T at the end of opponent. Shaking my head, Los Angle. Shaking my head. You playing Voodoo Rule for this year? Yeah, Ushi Gozen, later this month. Andromeda at Valentine's, assuming I have anything to pull for her with. It depends on how nice Ushi is to me. After that, Aoko and Alice. Then after that, Tiamat during the Lilum Harlot rerun. And maybe the Hibiki Chikagi servant. I always forget who the actual servant's name is, but there's Phantasmoon is this year too, right? Later this year, I think. Hizulok. BB. Oh yeah, Dubai BB. And Kiara, because she has a banner this year too. Phantasmoon's last week of the year, yeah. There was 2 others who I was looking at. I don't actually remember off the top of my head though. Saving for Draco and maybe Phantasmoon. Yeah. Actually, I have my list of people I plan to save for. Hang on. My computer lags when I try to pull up the bookmarks tab because of how many bookmarks I have. I honestly need to clear out my bookmarks. Come on, PC. You got it. you got it. You can load them. It's hang on. We got. Well, we're good, I think. There we go. Bookmark manager. Summon choices. Oh right, Jacques de Molay, who's also during the rerun. Caster Nero, who's getting a banner in the summer, if I remember right. And Space Ereshkigal and Mysterious Executor CL were the other ones. Keep getting Arcwood up, up, and up. And back to Archetype
カルデア
Earth.
という舞台に合わせて再調整しました。原型の私でもなく最新の私でもない。
Well, this is her, like...
これはひとときの夢。血に惑うことなく育った私というイフ。口だけではない。正しく真祖の姫である状態です。
Oh, okay. Okay, so her if... Okay, interesting. That is a fascinating what if. Hey, Arnoldo. Yeah, I end up going with the Ash banner and hoping I didn't get Ash. Got Arky. And, I was happy with it. I would have been happy with Tiamat or Cuckoo as well, but I think I ended up probably with the most ideal of them. I don't know, Tiamat's up there for me. Gonna feed her foe? Yeah. They're killing me with these. Not giving me the fucking the boosted odds on the super great. You're right. I should have done it now. Damn it. All right. Well, whatever. I'll do it before I always forget that's a thing where it's cheaper early in levels, but whatever. Whatever, I don't need to start from the top. We can do it from here. It's whatever. Okay. Honestly, I might give her... No, I don't know if I'll use her enough to warrant giving her... Yeah, probably not. Alright, Final Ascension, here we go. I don't know why, I thought her Final Ascension arc would be... more fan service-y. I don't know why.
一つの命として外界と触れ合うことは新鮮で微弱で悲しいものですが、決して無意味なものではありませんでした。人がなぜ消え去る運命にある灯火を守るのか、その理由がこの温かな鼓動にあるのですね。
Yeah, sure, maybe. Alright, get rid of the foes. Come on. Good luck. There we go, finally. Finally on the first one. Alright. Well, with that, we're good. Alright. Well, now that that's out of the way, let's collect my master missions. And then we'll hop into LB2.
優れたマスターには幸運がついて回ると言います。いえ、私が今そのように今回も無事に帰還。
Yeah, I guess that's it. That's. I guess it's kind of anticlimactic, but I guess this just hop in. Eternal Icy Fire Century. GACHA dem. That's definitely how you say it, right? Oh, right, yeah, right, yeah, they got a distress call. I repeat, I'm a mage from proper human history. Please come find me at the following coordinates. This is Boldanders, the Wandering Sea. Wandering Sea? Wandering Sea? The Wandering Sea? That's one of the three great organizations of the Magecraft world. There's the Clock Tower in London, the Atlas Institute in Egypt, and the oldest of them all, the Wandering Sea. It was located on an island from the Age of the Gods, hidden in the northern oceans. Does this mean it still exists? Apparently. Somehow, some way, Boldanders returned. Not Palpatine. Atmospheric analysis complete. Nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide levels all green. The man in the atmosphere is almost identical to levels in the 21st century. I'm not picking up any harmful trace substances either. So we still have breathable air, even in this creepy, bleached world. Well, that means we can park the shadow border and go have a look for ourselves. What do you think, Ritsuka? Doesn't that sound intriguing, stepping out into a world of sheer nothing in every direction? I guess. Kinda. Ah, of course it does. First, we'll go out and get some fresh air. Then we'll look for food. You still haven't told me what the Wandering Sea actually is. Empty okay? You don't know either, do you? Yeah, he just knows of its existence or supposed existence, and then that's about it, I guess. Of course I do, you dolt. Good elf music is not a man to pretend to know something he doesn't. The Mages Association isn't a monolith, I'll have you know. Just because I used to work at the Clock Tower doesn't mean I've ever been to the supposedly living Wandering Sea in the North Sea. Oh, so you've only heard rumors. I thought you were from some big important family, old man. Don't you call me that, Double Chin. If I must spell that for you, then here it is. The Wandering Sea of Boldanders is the first enigma ever discovered in the world of Magecraft, and it will be the last to be puzzled out. It's an island so mysterious and full of mystics that even such a gifted mage of an incredibly prestigious bloodline as myself may not even set foot in it, or on it. It's true. That all fits with what's in Caldia's database. It says that the Mages Association has been around since the start of the AD era. It also split into 3 branches shortly after its inception. The mages who settled in London evolved with the times and focused on developing magecraft over the course of history. That faction went on to become the Clock Tower, the largest and most powerful magecraft organization in the world. Its members include the Animasphere family, the founders of Caldia, and Mr. Gordolf here. Quite so. Here in the 21st century, the Mages Association and the Clock Tower are all but synonymous. The next major faction is the Atlas Institute in Egypt. They're dedicated to perfecting alchemy. We actually infiltrated their headquarters once, yeah, I remember. During the Sixth Singularity. It was a huge research complex, almost like a giant crypt, built deep underground. And as easy as it was to get in, it was hard to get out. The Atlas Institute's ironclad rule is that the technology created there must never leave. But Caldia's first director was granted an exemption thanks to the Atlas contract. The technology he was able to take from the Atlas Institute enabled him to complete Caldius. It was also the Atlas Institute that presented him with the Void Reality Observation Device, Paper Moon. One of the finest mystic codes ever made. Indeed, they seldom poke their noses out of their little hole in the ground, but I am told they do converse with the lords, albeit as little as possible. They may be a heartless bunch who only care about weapons and technology, but they can be rather useful if you play your cards right. And finally, the last faction is the Wandering Sea, the Boldanders, said to be somewhere in the North Sea. However, the most I could find about them was a brief overview, even in Chaldea's extensive files. It said that their cardinal rule is to only recognize magecraft from the Age of Gods and refuse to accept any advancements or alterations urged by civilization. So they're the Amish of the magecraft world? Well, no, even the Amish adapt. I think I think they have to remain 100 years behind, I think. I think that's their rule. Actually, I shouldn't say all Amish, because it actually changes depending on the, I guess, village. And there's like, I don't remember there's terminology for the ones who stay about 100 years behind, ones who stay rooted in like 16th century, and then there's ones who, I think that's a third type. I don't remember exactly. In essence, their ideology is the exact opposite of the clock towers. Indeed. Refusing to accept progress in magecraft means refusing to accept consumer civilization. The Wandering Sea's philosophy of magecraft is fundamentally incompatible with modern human society. That is why they keep their gates firmly shut, and why they seldom add to their number. In other words, they're a bunch of old fuddy-duddies, obsessed with magecraft so ancient it has to be measured with carbon dating. Said they do open their gates just once every year to try and recruit promising new talent. But even among the mages of the clock tower, the number who actually make it to the Wandering Sea can be counted on one hand. Do you see my point? I'm saying the Wandering Sea is every bit as secretive as the Atlas Institute, just in a different way. No one from the outside has ever been able to get the full story. The reason being, as the name suggests, the Wandering Sea is always on the move. Most who know of it believe it to be a floating island somewhere in the North Sea, but it is, in fact, the very opposite. The Wandering Sea's headquarters were built before the AD era began, and they never move at all. It is instead the sea in which they are located that moves around, a world unto itself in many ways. That is almost certainly why its location still remains a secret, even in the 21st century. Land that moves around while placing mystic textures on itself. I see. That would make it its own independent singularity. It would also explain how it was able to escape whenever it turned the Earth's surface into an endless white desert. All this time they've been turning their noses up at us, but the moment things go south, they don't have any issue sending us a distress signal. Some successes to true mystics they turned out to be. They should try taking a page from our book. We're the ones who made it through Russia by the skin of our teeth, with no outside help. We're the ones who are currently flailing about with no plan. At least you understand that the situation is still pretty dire, I guess. Given the present circumstances, it looks like the people of the Wandering Sea have decided to bend their rules in order to offer us a lifeboat. I don't think it had said anything about that. It just was it was like just an emergency distress signal. Did they say? I don't think they said anything about taking in. I mean, maybe. I don't know why else would they send out the signal, I guess. Assuming it's not just a single person who sent the signal who's alive, which could very well be the case. At any rate, Administrative Advisor Holmes, I have a question for you. I would like to be as certain as possible. What do you make of this? Can we trust that the distress signal is genuine? I'm afraid I can't speak to that. What do you think, Da Vinci? Could go either way from the look of it. This transmission isn't part of the clock tower's standards, but its wavelength is pretty close to the waveforms the Atlas Institute uses. Since we don't have any data about the Wandering Sea ourselves, I can't really give you a definitive answer. Still, I can verify that there's definitely something to be found at these coordinates. Whatever the story is, if there's a Magecraft workshop there, I'd really like to at least check it out. I know we managed to stretch things with the materials we got in Russia, but there are still limits to what the Shadow Border can do. What I really want to do is retune the whole frame from scratch, but I doubt we'll be finding much in the way of materials, considering the entire world seems to be an empty wasteland. Yeah, probably not. These coordinates from the Wandering Sea would put it in the seas west of Norway. We could go through the Scandinavian peninsula, or turn north at Germany and cut across Denmark. We just left Moscow heading west, so it will take us a few days to reach them regardless of the route. Assuming that the border can convert the mana in the atmosphere into electricity, that just leaves the question of food. What if we go to the Wandering Sea via Zero Sail? Yeah, that could work, or we could die. Either way. No Zero Sails. As technical advisor, I expressly forbid it. But why, though? Even if we're going to run into another one of those storm walls along the way, we need to stick to the surface as much as possible. But why? And did you just say there are more of those storm walls? Yes. Explain yourself, technical advisor. If there's another storm wall on our path, doesn't that mean running straight into another lost belt? We don't have any other choice, Gordolf. Not with the two big problems we're facing. First is the small matter of the Wandering Sea living up to its name. These coordinates it sent us are all over the place. Literally, in fact, they're in a constant state of flux. Nothing definite or precise. With coordinates like these, it would be very risky to try zero sailing there with the paper moon. So until and unless we go to the Wandering Sea directly and forge some kind of connection to it, a long-distance zero sail is out of the question. Second, and this is the real problem, we don't have the energy. Yes, Holmes was so helpfully suggested converting mana into electricity as if it were a simple matter, but that can only get us so far. The conversion rate isn't efficient enough, so we'd end up spending more power than we can produce, which would make a long zero sail trip fatal. After all, no more power means no more working life support systems. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. I like having life support, personally. And I don't know about you guys, but I sure don't want to be out in this bleached white world all by myself. Yeah, probably not. Good point. The logic walls we have to put up in void space do use a lot of power. At our current energy levels, I don't think the border could last 2 hours there. And like Da Vinci said, we don't even have the exact coordinates we need. So what? Are you saying we need to enter the another lost belt if we're going to reach this possible hope for salvation? Where is this new lost belt anyway? If we use a typical world map, then the entire Scandinavian peninsula is covered by one of these storm walls. Another half a day or so of driving, and you should all get to see the closest thing to the edge of the world for yourselves. I take that to mean this wet, featureless ground will continue until we exit Russian territory then. At any rate, we have two possible routes to the Wandering Sea's designated coordinates. One that takes us across the Scandinavian peninsula, and one that brings us out to sea via Poland and Germany. Da Vinci, in your estimation, which of these gives us our best chance? Should we go by land or by sea? I think making a sea voyage would be a lot to ask of the border. We could perhaps get through the Strait of Dover. But to be honest, I'd rather we keep our distance from the British Isles. Since we have no idea about the state of the oceans just now. Yeah, I assume the British Isles is where, LB6 takes place. I would imagine. I would assume at least. Because LB6 is the Morgan Castoria Merlin one, right? So I would assume that would take place in British land. So what I'm saying is, I think the overland route's the best choice right now. Good grief. No sooner are we done with one lost belt, then we're off to a second. Your thoughts, Miss Ritsuka? Are there any other regions we could cross? Probably not, buddy. An excellent question. I want to know what's going on in the rest of the world, too. What about Europe, for instance? The Scandinavian Peninsula is the only place with a storm wall. I'm not seeing anything on the Greek side whatsoever. Really? That's kind of interesting. Because I know one of the lost belts is Olympus, isn't it? So nothing being... Oh, so I didn't mention this before because I didn't want to upset you. But I'm not seeing anything from England at all. We need more powerful observation equipment than what the Shadow Borders got to see. Than what the Shadow Borders got to see what's... Than what the Shadow Borders got to see what's happening with the British Isles. Yeah, there we go. So you're set on having us across the Scandinavian Peninsula then, aren't you, Da Vinci? Alright, we've come this far after leaving Moscow. So at the border's current speed. We should reach the peninsula in about 2 days. Very well then. Use that time to make sure we're fully prepared. Mounier, if we run into anything we could use to shore up our defenses along the way, take that opportunity to stop the border and ensure everything is in good working order. Da Vinci, you look after the little demi-servant girl. I can't have her falling down on the job. Holmes, come with me. We're going to the solitary confinement chamber. Solitary confinement? Mr. Gordolf? Does that mean... Of course. I'm going there to interrogate Kadok. He should be waking up any time now. It's time for me to put my brilliant... questioning skills to use. Yeah, questioning. Right. Uh-huh. Sure. When I'm through with him, he'll have told us what the cryptas are, what Rodam is planning, everything. Mark my words. I'm coming too. Humph. Don't look at me like that. You need the right people for the right job. I admit I may not be the best for interrogation, but you, even less so. Don't you worry. Kadok may be something of a twisted little brat, but he's still a growing boy. Merely tempt him with food and he'll be putty in my hands. Right. Trust me. One whiff of my creamy carbonara. Carbonara. It will turn his complexion from sour milk to sunflowers in an instant. Worry not, Miss Ritsuka. I'll see to it that the interrogation doesn't devolve into violence. I trust you, Holmes. In fact, I have my own questions I wish to ask him. I have a fairly good idea of the crypto's goal now, and I also believe I know the extent of Kadok Zemlopus's personal knowledge. However, there are still two important things I know little about: the Tree of Emptiness and that serious light command spell of his. Yeah, those are important details that'd probably be good to know about before getting to the next lost spell. Granted, the latter is something Kadok merely mentioned once, and may not be that important. God. Is he breaking out? An emergency alert? What's this all about? I thought there wasn't supposed to be any more opportunity. We're not out of the Russian woods yet. Something's approaching us at high speed. It's closing in on our port side, over 90 kilometers per hour. Come on, Mounier. Floor it before it catches up to us. I'm going to assume it's that person who was riding a motorbike in the opening of LB1. Remember that? I can't. We're just about to go uphill. The border can't go any faster. Oh crap, I'm picking up a heat signature too. It's an RPG! Oh, never mind. I think it's, Koya. Impact in 3, 2. I felt that. Please tell me that wasn't a direct hit, Da Vinci. Damage report. Is the engine intact? Are we going to have to bail in the middle of this race? I'm sure the damage is negligible, and our armor is still perfectly intact. We shouldn't need to do more than wipe off the scorch mark. Oh, that's good. The Shadowboarder's armor is a composite of cutting-edge technology and magecraft theory. Normal weapons can't even scratch it. What if it's a servant's weapon, though? That's not what I'm seeing, Holmes. That blast... Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. That blast took out one of our armor plates. Another hit like that and we'll be in deep shit. Huh? Really? Holmes? Then that means I remember now. This is the same sort of explosion I felt way back. 2 weeks ago, when I was just a hapless, albeit handsome man being shot at with an anti-material rifle. This can only mean that Koyanska is back to finish the job. It really might be curtains this time. Fo-fo! Spare us a trip down memory lane, old man. Come on, Holmes, do something. Right. My apologies. I'm not used to eating crow. Evacuate all staff from the portside hallway to the engine room immediately. Miss Kirilight and I will go and deal with this attack. On that note, Miss Kirilight, I would like you to put up a magical energy barrier in the internal hallway so as to fend off a possible second round. I trust you're alright with that, Ritsuka? Go for it, Mash. You got it. Don't worry, Senpai. I won't let them put one more scratch on the border. I hope so. Good luck, you two. The hostile entity should reach the border in 50 meters. Putting up visual now. Watch it not be Koyanska. Grr. They must think they're hot stuff. Their vehicle must have impressive suspension if they're heading straight at us, though. I didn't think Russia had any race cars like that around. Alright, where are you, you little leftover opportunic? Let's see what you look like. What the actual hell? That's not a vehicle, it's a person? Someone's... Oh wait, was that Gerdolf? Oh. Huh, oh, okay. Whoops. Someone's approaching on foot. Oh, wait, that's Silhouette. Okay. I mean, we know he joins up with Chaldea eventually. Because he appears in the, appeared in the Karakuri event. I'm surprised it's happening so soon, though? Clergy vestments and the lost belt servant reading. It's that priest, the one who calls himself Metropolitan Macarius. Alright, what do you want? I mean, I assume so. Given that he shows up in events. Ow. I woke up and I thought I heard a voice calling me. It was a cold, almost brittle kind of voice. Where am I? I guess this means I'm still alive. There's a dull ache in the back of my head where I got pistol whipped. He sure wasn't playing around. Goddamn cowboy. Shouldn't outlaws be cool and laid back and all that? No, not really. This shaking. Am I in a vehicle? This must be the shadow border. I try to assess the circumstances as best I can in this dimly lit place. Looks like they took me prisoner. They bound my hands, but now I can move around freely. The anti-magecraft cuffs they must have used on me are lying in pieces on the floor. Did I break them unconsciously while I was out? No, I couldn't have. I know I'm not capable of that. Why are the cuffs so damn cold? Did something freeze them enough to turn them brittle? Or maybe it's her farewell gift to me. Ugh. That the thought even entered my mind makes me sick. I don't have time to get all sentimental. Now that I've failed, I don't have the right. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm gonna waste this opportunity. If I'm gonna make a getaway. Yeah, I don't think you want to try and get away right now. Also, I mean, I guess... given what little we know about Pepperoncino's personality, he'd probably take Catechin. Maybe. So I guess he would have somewhere to go if he escaped? Is someone attacking the shadow border from the outside? But the only ones who would do that are the cryptors. Does that mean someone's here to rescue me? No, there's no chance of that. They're here to shut me up. There's no other reason anyone would waste their time on a loser like me. Alright, I can't just sit around and wait for them to kill me. I mean, I don't know exactly what happens with Kyrie/Macarius, because I'm just basing it off one event. Maybe, I don't know. I just kind of assume, given that he hangs, yeah. I'm literally just basing that off from one event. That's it. I've got to find a way out of here. After that, who knows? Escaping is all I can hope for now. Once that's done, I'll just have to see where the winds take me. Damn it, there goes another one. What's the situation? Mash raised her shield just in time. That one barely did anything. Way to go, Mash. Fofo! The hostile servant is still in pursuit on the border's port side. Wait, is he about to fire again? How many rounds did he even bring with him? I just noticed the NFF services markings on that thing. It must be one of Koyanski's weapons. No wonder it was able to damage the Magecraft armor. That said, it looks like the priest is all sermon and no rod. Gordolf's voice kills me. Like pearls before swine. So too gold before music, I suppose. The only one who could properly handle a modern magecraft weapon like that is Koyanska herself. Wait, what? The hatch is open. Why is the hatch open? Huh? Gordolf, quick. Check the internal surveillance cameras. I think someone opened the border's hatch and got outside. There's someone on the starboard ram. God dang it, Caddick. I assume it's Caddick. Probably. What did I get me right? You expect me to believe someone's hanging off the side like this is some kind of action move? Yes. Wait, that's Caddick's Omnibus. Just how many adventure-crazed nuts are there around here? I thought there was something on us. The signal's headed toward the deck now. So you're trying to take advantage of the confusion to escape, eh? Come on, Mitsuka. We're taking that hatch and going up there too. Don't let Kadek get away. I have a mountain of questions. I still need to ask him. Right. Can't let this little... get away from us. Shh. You, huh? Figures you'd show up. You're looking a little less dazed now. Glad to see you're back to your usual happy-go-lucky nonsense. Yeah, Paxi snapped me out of it. I see. So that Yaga's dead now, huh? I mean, all of them will be soon. I would have won if not for him. Guess that stupid speech of his was potent shit for you. He was a thorn in my side, but even I gotta admit he was a hell of a guy. I won't repeat the mistake of writing someone like him off as a loser. Enough chit-chat already, Zemlbus. Get back inside the border now, and I'll make sure you're treated fairly under international law. I don't think there's international law to be upheld currently. Trust me, you don't want to be stupid and go jumping off a moving vehicle like this. I can tell you from experience that you'll regret it. You'll end up dead and we'll have lost you. Show me that you're willing to help us, and I'd be willing to put in a good word for you with the association. You don't have to threaten me. I thought there might be a lifeboat or something out here, but there's nothing. Getting out of here was a huge pain in the ass, and it looks like it was all for nothing. Once I might have jumped off just to spite you, but now I've got a promise to keep. I can't go throwing my life away. You want to interrogate me, right? Fine. I'll tell you everything you want to know. That's a small price to pay for survival. At this point, I don't care what it takes to stay alive. I think he got past Mash and Holmes. Something tells me I think he got past them. Excellent. This makes my little insurance trip out here well worth it. Turn around, idiot. Kadek! Don't snap his neck. Well, he didn't snap his neck. I don't think. Rasputin, you son of a... Wow, if it isn't the Gurdolf music. How nice to see you again. You too, Master of Chaldea. Allow me to offer my congratulations on successfully taking down Russia. Let go of him right meow. I'm afraid I can't do that. I have my own concerns. You understand, of course. My job was to oversee Kadek Zemlbus' role as a cryptor, and that role has come to an end. So I thought I would give him as merciful a send-off as possible. Don't you bloody dare. As if Da Vinci wasn't enough. Now he's gone and stabbed Kadek in the back too. As a gentleman, I'm unbound to stop him, but my golf punch will never work on him. Damn it, where's Holmes when you need him? I thought he was always supposed to be 2 steps ahead. Not to worry, Director Godolph. Eliminating all of you isn't in my job description. Russia is currently my sole jurisdiction, you see. As such, I needed to handle this before you left the area entirely. I hope you can forgive the necessity of my resorting to such drastic measures, unbefitting of my age though they are. I'm afraid I lack Koyansuke's ability to move between lost belts. I'm limited to getting around the same way you do. As a middle manager of sorts, I'm not able to go to the next lost belt without the foreign god's permission. Foreign god? Intriguing. Would you be so good as to tell us more, Metropolitan Macarius? I'm sorry I'm late, Master. Kadek. Now then, I'd best be on my way. I hope you won't mind me at my saving the answer to your question for our next meeting, Sherlock. Oh, but before I go, I would at least like to put a stop to this false name you've been using for me. My true name is Rasputin. Grigory Rasputin. That said, I confess the spirit origin doesn't belong to me. I'm simply borrowing it from a dead man. I deduced all that long ago, my dear priest. My concerns are far more fundamental in nature. Where did you acquire that dead man? In proper human history, Kotomini Kirei's body was cremated. So how did you come to take possession of a dead man without a body? Oh, I'm sure you'll figure that out sooner or later. Sherlock, that is, after all, what you do. I mean, pseudo-servants can pull bodies from any point in time, right? Or I should say... Yeah, because the Throne Heroes transcends time, so I imagine they could pull the body of Kirei from a point before he was cremated? Or this actually might be Fate Extra Kirei. That could be the case. But that wouldn't make much sense because he wouldn't have the connection to Angra Mainyu. I'm sure you'll figure that out sooner or later, Sherlock. That is, after all, what you do. You once called the incineration of humanity a mythological murder case. In which case, go ahead and label this attack the same way. Ask yourself who committed this crime and how. Once you've arrived at that answer, we will meet again. When that day comes, look forward to you accusing the culprit in person. Okay. Father Kotomine. I mean, Rasputin has made off with the Katic. What should we do, Senpai? Maybe if we turn the porter around now. No, it's too late. Don't bother. We'll never catch up. And we can't risk going back to Russia. Well... R.I.P. Katic, I guess. We just have to give up on interrogating Katic, Zemlopis. This was my fault. I should have considered that someone may pursue us. I mean, you probably just assumed that all Lost Belt servants, disappeared, right? But I guess not. Damn it, I can't believe I got knocked out again. Sneaking up on people and stabbing them is kinda your thing, huh? I think my heart actually stopped for a while back there. Indeed it did. If it hadn't, do you really think Holmes would have let us escape so easily? No, if he had realized you were still alive, they would have come back to retrieve you. I couldn't let that happen. Not after Kishtaria asked me to bring you back to Olympus. Yeah, so Olympus is one of the ones, so... Interesting. Is that so? Well, it doesn't matter either way. You wasted your time, Rasputin. Oh? Whether Chaldea kills me or Wardheim does it, I'll be just as dead. Chaldea wouldn't have killed you, though. Now that I've failed, I don't belong with either of them. I'm just going to be an example to the other cryptors. He doesn't believe that. What? What is it? If you've got something to say, then spit it out, Father. Apologies. I was just thinking how much easier my job would be if Kishtaria was that sort of person. At any rate, it's clear what's going to happen to you. You may have lost your right to run a lost belt, but you still have your serious light. That command spell belongs to our god. As long as you possess it, your life does not belong to you alone. You no longer have the option of throwing your life away, Katic Zemlopis. Your fate is to have every last bit of your soul squeezed out of you until the day you die. Oh! Oh, that sounds awful. That doesn't sound fun. Sounds less than fun, actually. Sounds pretty goddamn horrible. But, you know, what do I know? Okay, well, I'm sure he'll be fine. Probably. Hopefully. Maybe. It's been 2 days since Rasputin and the pseudo-servant attacked. The Chaldeans are currently on their way to the Lost Belt in Scandinavia. Everything is so white. The words blank slate have never seemed so appropriate. It's like the entire surface has been reset. Nothing but pure white wherever you look. Everything is gone. Nature, civilization, even the flora and fauna have completely disappeared. No, not disappeared. It's more like they've all been pruned away. All there is to see in every direction is a pure white plain. Though there were a few topographical exceptions along the way. It looked like the remains of some buildings, but they appeared to have been warped by extreme heat or destroyed in some kind of shockwave. Whatever the cause, upon closer inspection, one would see that these had once been man-made structures of some kind. This led to Ritsuka and her allies stepping out of the shadow border to investigate further. The atmospheric composition was normal, the air was breathable, and the gravity was the same as before. There was no need for a hazard suit or spacesuit or anything of the sort. Good thing you didn't have to get all dressed up like an astronaut, huh? Said Leonardo da Vinci with a cherubic smile. Look, Senpai, you can see them up ahead. Buildings. Yeah, they're not doing so hot either. Also, those are interesting designs. Man, it looks like the buildings have been bleached. That explains why we couldn't see them at a distance. Those are buildings, right? Were. If there are any survivors here, we should bring them back to the border as soon as... She trailed off all of a sudden. Probably because what she saw was beyond anything she could have imagined. No one could blame her. Anyone else would have been agape at the bizarre sight before them. The color had been drained out of everything. Some parts of the building even looked as though they had been rubbed away with an eraser. The whole thing looked like some bizarre postmodern art exhibit, and was made all the more baffling by being in the middle of a bleached desert. There were no signs of life anywhere, not even the remains of what had once been alive. It all looked so sterile, especially for ruins. It was the sort of thing you'd only see in dreams. Everyone back on the border seeing it on their monitors must have thought they were looking at footage from an alien planet. Let's go in. There might still be something inside. Maybe. Probably not, though. They're gonna find something depressing, like a teddy bear with like a white handprint from where a child was clutching it before being pruned away. It's gonna be some depressing shit like that, right? Earth had changed. It had been completely bleached. A planet now totally devoid of life, with the exception of the Lost Belts. But even when it had been reset to a blank slate, there were still some places, some buildings, some life forms that had survived. Chaldeans has decided to call these remnants. Today was the first contact they had with these sorts of remnants. These buildings had been left behind on this newly blank Earth. Despite the new director's pessimistic outlook, the other staff couldn't ignore the possibility, however slight, that there might still be other survivors. But even though they never did find any other people, their investigation wasn't for nothing. Because they did find signs of life, signs that someone had survived all this, and had been here before them. Here, near the Scandinavian Lost Belt, in what used to be Helsinki, the capital of Finland. Were signs in these buildings that someone somewhere was still alive. Signs that someone had been living here for days, weeks, maybe even months. Empty bottles, piles of canned food, the remains of a communication device that someone had clearly spent a great deal of effort trying to repair. There was even something that looked like a doll lying on the floor, a sign that a young child had been among the survivors. And above all, they found something that had clearly been left behind with intent. According to this journal, it looks like somebody was here as recently as 2 days. We missed other survivors by 2 days? Well, that's unlucky. The last entry is dated the day before yesterday. It looks like there were 6 survivors at first, but over time the numbers gradually dwindled until there was just 1. In the end, whoever wrote this journal must have been the last one to disappear. Where could they all have gone? Unfortunately, though, whoever wrote the journal had excellent penmanship. It was in a language that Ritsuka could not read. It could have been Finnish or maybe Swedish. Either way, it may as well have been Greek to Ritsuka. How did this happen to our planet? Why do these invaders from another world hate humanity so much? You know, good question. Good question. If nothing else, those final questions written on the last pages were clear. Why? Because a couple, handful of people threw a hissy fit that they didn't get to save humanity. That's, I mean, obviously, even without the cryptors, I imagine this foreign god probably would have put the plan into action in a different way. But, the cryptors helped. Hey, that's all these people could ask, even as they were wiped away. Almost as though they were being punished for seeking meaning in their crisis. Yeah. It's time, Master. Let's head back to the border. We're almost to Sweden now. You should rest up for the coming battles. You too, Mash. You should rest up too. As they left the remnants behind, one thought haunted each and every one of them. Nowhere was there so much as a trace of blood, a hint of violence. Soon the Shadow Border will enter the second Lost Belt. Will it be a hellish wasteland inhospitable to life? Or perhaps a utopia? That'd be good. If all the people of this Lost Belt were happy and healthy and not fighting for their lives like the Yaga were. So that's what those storm walls look like from the outside. Yeah. Yep. Finally about to take the plunge into the Scandinavian Lost Belt. And not because we have no other choice, like with Russia. This time we choose to do it ourselves. Yeah, even though it's a, a questionable choice, but it's alright. As you all saw, there's a tree of emptiness here as well. Though at this distance it looks more like a faint pillar of light than a tree. Yeah, hey, I gotta blow my nose. Yes, quite so. We may not know what it's like on the inside, but we do know exactly what we need to do. This is a lost belt, a place carved out of history different from our own. There's no telling what horrors may await us there. They're all preparing for it to be awful, but it's gonna be actually a nice place. I'm betting on it. But once we cut down that tree of emptiness, thingamabob, the lost belt will return to its original state, and the storm wall will disappear.
Yep. But I think we should put this particular tree of emptiness investigation off until later. Our priority is to slip through Scandinavia, and get to the Wandering Sea. Depending on what it's like in there, we might be able to just ignore the lost belt. If we're going to invade this place, we should do so after we've improved our offensive options at the Wandering Sea. It won't do for Ritsuka and Mash to be the only two ever risking their necks on the front lines. Yeah, who knows? Maybe this this mage who sent out the distress signal might have qualifications and talent to be a master. Maybe. I just hope that transmission really was from the Wandering Sea. So what now? I thought those stone walls were impenetrable. That we can penetrate using the shadow border's primary function. That storm is approximately 2 kilometers wide, so we'll cross it via zero sail. You mean we're going to dive back into void space? Come now, surely I'm not the only one who was wildly uncomfortable seeing his soul leave his body, was I? I mean, is it just me, or is looking down at your own body in third person a truly unsettling experience? I imagine it would be, yeah. But, guys. I mean, what else you want us to do? Right? Like, it's really our only choice. 1000% seconded. I'll be on Gordolf's side. Right. If I'd known this was on the agenda, I would have had a much lighter breakfast. Oh, fart. Of course it makes us all feel sick. But you're the commander now, yeah? So frickin' suck it up, would you? Honestly, I've gotten used to it. I mean, a short hop through void space is nothing compared to a ray shift. Not that I've ever ray shifted myself, of course. Right. Now don't you start talking back to me, Mounier. Ray shift, schmay shift. Clearly the zero sail program that began under my new administration is a far more impressive achievement. Holmes, Da Vinci, prepare the shadow border for takeoff. Indeed, Gordolf. I, for one, am truly inspired after your little speech. And well done on your part, Mr. Mounier. That will be one less thing to worry about during our dive. Okay, places everyone. Time to strap in for today's out-of-body experience. The good news is we're not going to dive as deeply as we did last time. We're just going to skim under the surface, so to speak, so that we stick to reality's space, time, and distance as closely as possible. We have to do it like that since we don't have anything tying us to Scandinavia. It'll be like a split-second dive into a two-dimensional plane. Think of it like going scuba diving without an oxygen tank. We just need to hold our breath for a little bit while we make our way through the wall. All set, Ritsuka? You do know we'll be setting foot in another brand new world soon, right? Yeah, we're not well aware. Let's go where no man has gone before. Again. Well, except for whatever men, beast, whatever they happen to be, live in this lost belt. But yeah, sure. And the, cryptor who's in charge of it. Just throwing it out there. Just. Got it. Okay then. Let's go see what's on the other side of this wall. Expanding void reality observation device, Paper Moon. Destination, southern Sweden. Near, Norrköping. Expanding logic formula on the Shadow Border armor. Removing existence verification for reality space. Future prediction. Hypothetically prove mirror world plane in 20 seconds. Relaxing space-time friction decompression for 0.4 seconds. All systems are green. Void space may be a calm sea, but as always, don't forget to watch out for the big waves. Shadow Border.
Untether from reality. Void space dive. Zero sail. Unfurl. That will be fine, right? Of course we will. Nothing ever goes wrong. Oh, okay. Okay, it ends it there. Oh, that's kind of rude. Assault of the Demonic Sword.
先輩は初詣には行かれましたか？参拝というと
Sounds
慣れた頃ほど
scary. I've always hated Sundays. But why though? Because it's the day before Monday, I guess. Huh? Is it because I hate my father? No. Is it because I hate my mother? No, it's not that either. When I was little, I wholeheartedly embraced their dreams for me. I really thought everything they talked about would come true. I didn't need to hate them. I didn't even need much in the way of parental love from them. I believed that I would one day reach the sixth imaginary element, just as they wanted. I would be the one to make my family's long-held dream come true. I had gained the power I needed to accomplish that. But even so, I hated Sundays. Detested them even. I loathed having to spend all Sunday at home, the home I grew up in with my parents. From the time I woke up until the time I went to bed, it felt as though that giant ceiling was crushing me to death. I don't hate my parents, I respect them. I'm proud of them. This much has never changed. Okay, so then... what did I hate about Sundays? I don't know, you tell me! Report from the computer room. Report from the computer room. So far this Zero Sail is looking just peachy. Just lay back, kick back and enjoy this little voyage through the Sea of Time. Okay, we'll do. We've got 150 kilometers to cross. At our current reduced speed, I think it should take us about an hour or so. So? Uh-oh, somebody's not happy about this trip. What happened to all that bluster you were spouting just a little while ago? I know this is only our second voyage, but you should be used to this by now. Am I wrong, Gordolf?
Oh, yes. Did you need something, technical advisor? Is it tea time already?
Something you're worried about, Commander?
Of course not. I wouldn't waste time on foolish sentiment. I thought I would feel better after we defeated the servant who destroyed Chaldea, but I don't at all. My poor flush. They were the finest private army I've ever had. They may have been a bunch of thugs and hoodlums, but they did their job damn well. After this whole mess is sorted out, I'll need to pay out their life insurance. Once again scraped together more than a penny to my name, of course. That said, this way of getting around really is beyond the pale.
Why do I unironically think he actually wouldn't be or not wouldn't, he isn't a terrible boss? Like, you may have to deal with his, ego sometimes, but like, He clearly, thought well of his private militia. And really, he could probably easily get out of paying their life insurance if he really wanted to. Given all that has happened, you know? But he's still thinking about it, huh?
I said this way of getting around really is beyond the pale. I'm a man of the land, not the sea. Not that I'd hesitate to board a submarine to save humanity, of course. But this, I may be better about seasickness now, but I don't think I'll ever get used to this zero sail nonsense.
So you still feel bad even though you're not seasick? Are you claustrophobic or something? Fo?
No, I'm not claustrophobic. I mean that I don't care for this void space business. It's not something I'm just going to get used to. Let me be clear. Getting used to danger means losing sight of security. Oversights, betrayals, bankruptcy, victories getting revoked by judges. All those sorts of retribution stem from carelessness and arrogance. You can't assume everything will be sunshine and roses, just because things happen to go your way once. Not to mention, verifying the existence of void space may be a great feat, I'll admit. But to be honest,
You still don't have a clue what it even is, do you? Oh, I mean... Well, no, not really. I make it a rule never to get on any machine I can't drive myself.
and yet, void space is something only a tiny handful of mages have ever so much as touched. Just thinking about floating around in there makes me... Oh no, I think I'm going to be sick.
You say that, and yet your complexion tells me that you're feeling just fine. Gurov. No, Mr. Gurov. I admire you're going, I admire you get... Water. Blub blub. Fish. No, Mr. Gurov. I admire your gumption. The rest of the staff are equally versed in science and magecraft. But you, Director, are a mage's mage. That is why traveling through void space puts you so ill at ease. You are keenly aware of both the benefits and risks posed by the zero sail. Yet despite that, you are doing your utmost to remain calm and collected. That is truly keeping a stiff upper lip, as they say. Commendable. You must have hit rock bottom quite a few times in your life. Perhaps you're accustomed to being in dire predicaments. Damn, like, man, you really suck at keeping your life together, huh? Man, poor Gurdolf. You're accustomed to being in dire predicaments at this point.
I am accustomed to nothing of the sort. I have never once crossed the finish line in last place, I'll have you know.
Cross the finish line in last place? I've never heard an expression like that before, Director Gurdolf.
Well, of course you haven't. Once you get to be a man of my caliber, Miss Mash, even the expressions you use take on a special life of their own.
Right. That's the first time he's ever addressed me respectfully. Holmes could use some work when it comes to paying someone a compliment.
That was a compliment. Good grief.
Heroic
Spirits certainly are, different. Then again, he might be easier to talk to as an administrative
tongue. Please work.
advisor if you were a caster.
Haha, I very much doubt that. My spirit origin may change, but I'm quite sure I would remain the same. If you require proof, I was a caster when I first met Miss Ritsuka. And even now that I have made an official contract with Chaldea as a ruler, nothing has changed. Wouldn't you agree, Miss Curiolite? Now that you mention it, that's true. I don't think you've changed at all, Mr. Holmes.
Well, alright then. By the way, technical advisor, what's our itinerary for this voyage look like?
Huh? Director Gurdolf. Da Vinci just briefed us about that right after we arrived in void space. Maybe he blacked out after we started the zero sail? Oh. I'm so sorry, Mr. Gurdolf. We had no idea you had lost consciousness with your eyes open.
But what? Come now, don't be absurd.
I've handled the G-forces from accelerating to over 250 kilometers per hour, I'll have you know.
Per hour, I'll have you know. I say, what about you, youngster? Yes, you, Ritsuka. Your file said you frequently fell into REM sleep. I believe it even said you could do it standing up, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that some special skill of yours? That's right, we call it the Ritsuka Rem? What?
No way.
I was just kidding about the skill part. Are you people alright? No. No. Just, no. No.
At any rate, it seems you doze off just as easily as I do. Do you remember what the briefing was about? Perhaps now would be a good time to review all that you know while we're at it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm sorry. Oh, but as for Senpai, I think she went off to have lunch with Foe after we left on the zero sail.
Haha. You heard the man, Da Vinci. Would you be so kind as to summarize our current situation for him?
Sure, if that's what he wants. Okay, let's go over our immediate itinerary again. Immediate itinerary. We've just entered the Scandinavian peninsula, right around here. At the moment, we're still diving through the storm wall. On our current route, we should then emerge here in northern Europe, at the southern part of Sweden. It's only a 10-kilometer trip, since we don't have any connection to Scandinavia. Surfacing at our intended destination will come down to a combination of a dice roll and my navigational genius. Always tooting your own horn, huh? Toot toot. And since I've got my hands full making sure our coordinates don't go fluctuating all over, we have no way of knowing if there will be any hostile entities on the other side. Oh! So we'll have to hope and pray, and if we run into enemies, you know, MASH will, do her thing. Hopefully. So be ready for an even rougher emergence than the one we went through in Russia.
So in other words, entering one of these lost belts inevitably comes down to the luck of the draw, eh? Just to make doubly sure, is there any way we could ignore the Scandinavian lost belt and head straight to the North Sea? Certain conditions seem to be in place for us to emerge inside lost belt, right? Then why go out of our way to do that? Even if we don't know the Wandering Sea's exact coordinates, if we can just get to the North Sea.
I know, but I'm afraid that's just not possible. We're currently skimming right next to the border between reality space and void space. It's the only way we can peek into reality from void space, which we have to do if we're going to emerge somewhere we lack a connection to. In addition, the amount of power the shadow border consumes in this mode is directly affected by the amount of real-world distance we travel. I mean, it'd have to be, given that we're following reality so closely. And at our current power levels, there's no way the border can zero sail more than 300 kilometers. Near the mirror world plane. So we have to emerge in the Scandinavian lost belt if we're going to stock up for the journey to the Wandering Sea.
I see. This zero sail business sounds good on paper, but it certainly has more than its share of drawbacks, doesn't it?
Basically, if you want to go diving and emerging wherever we like.
Yes?
Well, we can't. Neither the border nor myself are up to that. At least not right now. Sorry, Gordy.
sorry, and 6 pence don't even get you a decent cup of tea these days. Fine. You're saying you want a real lab with full facilities, right? Once we make our way through Scandinavia and meet up with the Wandering Sea, then things should improve. At least a little, yes?
Maybe. You got it. I'm glad you're such a... oh, whoops. Such a quick study. So as I was saying earlier, just kick back and enjoy the last bit of our voyage. We're currently off from real-world time by about 10 days. We'll emerge from void space as soon as we're through the storm wall. So it's just like what happened in Russia. And that would mean one of these enormous trees really is here in Scandinavia, too. Indeed. We could see it for ourselves before we began our journey through the storm wall. If we just so happen to emerge near the Tree of Emptiness, we'll need to choose between leaving Scandinavia behind, or investigating the tree. Regardless, we'll no doubt need to make our way across a considerable bit of land once we reach the inside of this lost belt. I encourage you all to remain calm and in control, so that we may better react to whatever awaits us. I wonder if it'll be anything like Russia's. Probably kind of similar, I would think. Although, when the Tree of Emptiness came crashing down, it did so in a rather indecipherable...
What was that?
Why were those radar beeps so loud? Is something coming towards us?
Something's pinging our omnidirectional sonar. What the? There's something with a fixed wavelength moving around?
Is the Wandering Sea because it moves through void space? Something with a fixed wavelength.
Do you mean there's something else here besides the shadow border? Wait, what? Hold on, just hold on. You mean to tell me there's something alive out there? In void space?
Fo-fo! Indeed. Under normal circumstances, nothing could probably exist in void space, unless it were itself composed of void. There are exceptions, though. Namely the all-terrain void transporter Shadowborder, its crew and a paper moon. And that can only mean... there's someone or something else that can travel via Zero Sail? If there were, it would require technology that surpasses Atlas's. I wish I could say that we're entirely impossible, but we can't rule it out. Da Vinci, are you seeing anything on your end? Your eyes should be a good deal sharper than ours. I'm sorry, but I've got my hands full keeping track of the real world's terrain. I can't spare any cameras to see what might be near us. Oh, but I have noticed one thing that's strange. The shadow border's been running really smoothly for a while now. So there's definitely something out there in our vicinity. I just couldn't tell you what it is. The border's also got Magecraft and Spirit radars in addition to the sonar, but they're not turning anything up either. Since I can't imagine there could be anything living in void space, I'm guessing it's using Soliton-like wave conduction, but...
Wait.
Director Godolph?
We're under attack.
No, don't overreact, Gerdolf!
Oh, fart. Who was it that was saying the old man had gotten used to this stuff? It must be some sort of monster or servant with the ability to Zero Sail. They could be anywhere.
Yes, that's a distinct possibility. Rasputin mentioned something along those lines too. As I recall, he said that he was unable to freely move between lost belts. Koyanskia could do so. It's difficult to imagine she employs the same method that we do, but she may well have her own means of crossing dimensions.
There, you see? You also Ivan the Terrible for yourselves. These lost belts are obviously full of monsters. It wouldn't surprise me at all if one of them was a rider, with just that sort of skill. Do you even hear yourself? This is void space. This whole dimension shouldn't even exist. There's no way there could be anything here besides the border.
A creature or heroic spirit with the ability to conduct a Zero Sail,
I know Miss Miyamoto wanders between parallel worlds, but only in that she stumbles from one to another. She's only a drifter who keeps falling through realities, all because all of the possibilities have abandoned her. There is no being in all of reality space besides us who can freely travel between dimensions. That at least was what the Atlas Institute's Transmetric says of 2018. Still, it's not something we can rule out entirely. That we are here ourselves means it must be possible for someone else to be as well. Couldn't you have kept that to yourself, Holmes? You're just gonna work the old man up even more.
It's getting closer. So?
Did it just get even closer?
Please calm down, Director. I know this may not put your mind at ease, but I think I sense something. Something close. Oh. Is this something we've seen before? Maybe? But strangely enough, I also don't think it's malicious, whatever it is. That's good. In fact, I think it might even be kind of warm and comforting. Okay.
No, come now.
That's standard demon operating procedure. They bait their hook with kindness.
Well, I'm not falling for it. I'm going to listen to my own instincts. Listen up, all of you. I have no desire to become an
Adventure-crazed nut like the rest of you.
but even I can see that making an emergency exit out of void space is our best option here.
Is it?
Therefore, as the director of Chaldea, I am ordering the Shadow Border to make an immediate emergency exit into reality space.
An emergency exit? I don't think that's a great idea. I want to take Mash's side here, but I have to admit, Gordolf has a point. Yeah, you can't trust that whatever it is actually is kind. One thing's for sure, there's something out there that even I can't see. We shouldn't take that lightly. So my vote is for the emergency exit. And as luck would have it, we're very close to the end of the storm wall. That said, there's one thing I want to go over first. We've already crossed the border. We're currently in what used to be southern Sweden, somewhere inside the Scandinavian Lost Belt. But when we emerge, the risks will be even greater than they were back in Russia. Cutting out the future predictions in order to force our way back to reality could result in the entire Shadow Border coming apart. I say we take the risk and make sure we're safe on our exit. Even if it takes a little bit of extra time. That's my vote. And it's not just the border. All of you could end up seriously hurt as well. If yourselves from 10 days ago happen to overlap with yourselves from now, just having your bodies catch up with their own regulatory functions will be enough to make you vomit. Are you okay if that ends up happening? Of course, as this vehicle's central processing unit, I'll be doing my best to avoid that. Well, if the worst is vomiting and not death, you know, so be it.
Of course. At this point, a little nausea is nothing. Just get us the hell out of here, Da Vinci. I don't want to spend another second with this unknown thing if I can help it. I'm responsible for all of your lives here. As such, I refuse to continue a voyage in such close proximity to an unknown entity. Get the Shadow Border to the surface right now. Don't make me repeat myself again. Just hurry.
You know, you could take that as just him using us as a cover for him wanting to get out of here. But I think he actually does want to make sure we all live. I don't know. You're Gordolf. You're all right. You're an all right fellow. Alrighty. If you're ready to face the music, I'll do my best to make sure it's a pleasant tune. Mounier, I'm going to switch over to manual. We don't want the safety functions putting on the brakes on autopilot. Are you serious? Doesn't that completely go against the manufacturer's recommendation? Nah, manufacturer.
Initiating high-speed calculations. Preparing to emerge in.
Uh,
An emergency alert. Everyone strap in. Take deep breaths while you still can. Don't worry about that alert.
we're just putting a little more strain on the hole than it's designed for. Oh. That's an evil smirk if I've ever seen one. That is pure, unadulterated evil. Isn't that incredibly dangerous? Yeah. Da Vinci knows what she's doing. I hope.
Right, you're right. I believe in her, senpai.
Phew. I really didn't want to resort. I really didn't want to resort to this. Since it gives me a bad fever.
This new smaller body just isn't
as resilient as my old one.
I'll do whatever I can to help. Patch me into the console if you would. I'll help too. Thank you. I'm afraid I'm relegated to learning by observation myself, but the more hands the better. If only Mr. Babbage were here to assist us.
I might hear you, but I'm afraid the Spirit Origin briefcase alone just isn't enough to summon him outside of short battles.
We'll just have to make do.
Man, wouldn't it be great if another Salieri dropped into our laps right now? Like, say, now. Damn, it didn't work. Yeah. Good try, though. Oh, well, worth a shot.
Guess we're on our own after all. Alright then, let's do this thing.
Yeah, hopefully, things go well. I hope, having to fix the Shadow Border again wouldn't be ideal. Activating Paper Moon. Initiating Planet Navigational Chart plus minus Convergence. Commencing Shadow Border's docking sequence into Reality Boundary. We're gonna dock. Disengaging Mirror World Plane Voyage. Though the stratum may dissolve, I continue to exist. Reapplying Time Flow Attraction from Reality Space. 0.4 second difference between target coordinates and current recognition confirmed. That's well within tolerances. We are good to go! I hope so. Emerging from void space. 30 seconds until arrival at reality space. Zero sail complete. Emerging into reality space. Lose our lunch. Hmm. 1000 BC? The good fellow of everlasting flame. Well, that's probably fine. You know, they described it quite well. Eternal icy fire set, ice fire, very, very, very poignant.
新年明けましておめでとうございます。小さなことからコツコツとですね。
Very, very poignant. Alright, collect my Saint Quartz.
いらっしゃいました。
As we do.
カタログはこっちだよ。先輩は
Alright. Berserker, eh? Surely they won't throw a servant at us right away. It'll probably just be a creature of some kind. Probably. Hopefully. Remove these craft essences we don't need. How close are you to Bond? Oh, you're still super far away. Yeah, you can be taken out. And let's put in our brand new There you are. And let's put her up in front, sure. Why not? I was gonna say give her a test drive, but I've used her as support before, so I've already test driven her, I suppose. But that's neither here nor there, I suppose. Where... there you are. Got Arc, yeah. I said it a few times, but I don't think you're here yet. I'm just glad I didn't get a second copy of Tonalico. That's all I was hoping for out of that banner. It's just, don't give me a second Tonalico. I'll take any of the other three. And luckily we got our girl. Oh yeah, let's throw a teapot on. Are we okay? The Ortonax exoskeleton is operating within expected parameters. Internal pressure regulation, combustion, and weaponry are all good to go. Armored shielder is cleared to deploy. Well, feeling up to the smash? Yes, all of my readings and transformations are working well. Although... what's up? I thought you'd be ejecting me again, but this chamber and model both seem very different. Well, sure. Last time we were sending you into the thick of an ongoing battle. But this time we're just having you check out our surroundings. You got one, Gina? They're happy for you. Yeah, I thought about going for the Wangina, Saber Stolfo, Tyra banner. But I was like, I really didn't want Tyra. So I was like, I'll give myself better odds by... yeah, because 33% chance of getting something I don't want versus only 25, yes. Again, I could have played it extremely safe and gone for the Morgan, Melu, Koyansky banner, but even though I do want Melu and Morgan, I was like, Arkwin, Tiamat, and Cuckoo were a bit more tempting. So I rolled the dice on not getting a dupe. I was sending you into the thick of an ongoing battle, but this time we're just having you check out our surroundings. Yeah, I don't really need to eject for, you know, just looking around. Besides, Master's coming along with you, and we can't go shooting you both out, can we? Yeah, I guess not. Right, good point. I forgot that Senpai will be joining me. Alright, let's try this again. Are you all set? Yes. Armored shield are ready to deploy. You got it. Shadow Border, open the hatch. We are go for our recon mission. Not as cold as Russia, I'm hoping. Senpai. Aren't you cold? Not a bit. I know we can see our breath out here like this, but that's the worst of it. Don't worry, I'm fine. If you say so. Looks pretty, cold to me, but, my cold resistant gear helps a lot. Besides, it's not as bad here as it was in Russia. It does make sense that Scandinavia would still be freezing, though. Yeah, true. Very true. All that aside, this place is very snowy, isn't it, Senpai? It's 3 degrees Celsius, but the wind isn't cold at all, and the air feels crisp and clean. It feels like a real winter wonderland compared to Russia. I'm sure the temperature will drop to well below 0 once night falls, but right now I'm just enjoying how peaceful it is. Yeah, it's still a temperature where, like, you could just wear decent clothes and you'd be alright. It's really romantic. I agree. I was just thinking the same thing. Ooh. Were you now? Were you, Mashu? We still don't know exactly what this lost belt is like, but at least this place seems quite peaceful. It's enough to make me hope that maybe not every lost belt's dangerous. I mean, we're still gonna face opposition from the cryptors and their servants, obviously, but yeah, there's probably gonna be somewhere there's not too many monsters roaming the lands like there were in Russia. But this really isn't the time to wax philosophical. Let's get started, Master. Alright, it's perimeter check time. Right, let's start by looking for some sort of hill, so we can get a better view of our surroundings. The border is recharging for now while it stays camouflaged in the snow. Da Vinci said it would take about 3 hours for it to charge up completely. So let's do our best to explore as much as we can in that time. As much as we can. Huh? Okay, we've reached the top of that hill. It's nothing but snowy fields as far as they can see, and then there's... Senpai, look! The tree? Oh, the fire. Yeah, I guess the fire would be quite eye-catching. Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Look at that. Hi, John BB9. It's a white mountain range, stretching on forever. And I think they're made of ice and snow. And fire. There's some sort of blue haze to the north, about halfway along the range. Oh, wait, is that... Yep. The mountains are burning. Yes, there's fire burning in the parts without trees. I can't see such a thing happening naturally. So it must be some sort of magecraft at work. Nah, that's just Dobby. You know. So that's what this lost spot is. A world of mountains, white ice, and blue flame. And then there's the sun? It's much too big to be the sun, though. Maybe the sun got closer somehow, but that wouldn't... That wouldn't be good. This doesn't add up. I've heard parts of Scandinavia can get almost no sunlight for months at a time. Oh yeah, I forgot. They usually do announcements around New Year's, don't they? Yeah. It sucks that there's no... At least, yeah, no Red Garden stuff announced. I mean, I imagine... Because what, it originally, Piece of Blue Glass Moon came out originally in, what, 22? In JP? So, I would think it wouldn't be too much longer till we hear something about it. I would hope. Oh, it's 2021. I thought it came out in 2022. Oh, maybe I'm crazy. I'm probably crazy. But I've never seen anything about the sun being this size. I doubt any such records even exist. The sun, huh? Something tells me that's not the sun. Something tells me it's, And another thing. I don't see the tree of emptiness anywhere. But we saw it before we went into the storm. Yeah, that's weird. Were there any announcements? Oh yeah, I thought I saw a thing about like Nasu putting out a blog post saying how like the story of Fate Grand Order is coming to a close. I saw the speculation that they're gonna change the name of the app. Perhaps. And so, like, Fate Grand Order is ending, but the app, you know, and this, you know, the story, because it won't be, you know, the Grand Order anymore. That's the speculation I saw. Yeah, no, I'm saying, like, with it being over. Okay, I maybe didn't phrase what I said properly. Like, there's a bunch of, like, staff and voice actors who were, I guess, saying goodbye to FGO. And so, people didn't know if that meant end of service would be coming soon, or if they're saying goodbye to FGO because it'd be renamed, because it'd be, you know, yeah, I don't know.
It was clearly visible from outside the lost belt.
I don't know, again, I only saw a very cursory, like, post about someone talking about how Nasu was saying goodbye to, like, the main story of FGO in general. Not specifically part 2, but, like, in general. But, again, I don't know, maybe it was a mistranslated thing, I don't know. Again, I don't look too deeply into these things to avoid spoilers. I just see a cursory post and see like the initial like bit that gets shown and then keep scrolling and don't read the rest because I don't want to, you know, see too much, right? Yeah. Again, the one thing I saw was someone speculating that it would be renamed to like Void Grand Order, maybe something where they explore void space more, which would make sense. Because FGO is still one of the, like, highest grossing gacha games. Like, it's still in the top 10. When there's, like, probably well over 100 plus. At this point. So, it wouldn't make sense for them to, you know, just not... you know, it wouldn't make sense for them to, you know, drop it. Completely.
I can't imagine it was suddenly wiped from existence, so maybe it's being hidden with Magecraft.
Well done on the reconnaissance, you two. You finally had a moment to catch your breath here.
Holmes!
It seems you're about 500 meters away. Well chosen. That's just about the perfect distance, since we're still unable to detect hostile entities. Thankfully, our emergency exit didn't strain the border as much as we anticipated, but I'm afraid it's still not going anywhere for the time being. Still, we cannot afford to waste time. We cannot afford to waste any time, which is, of course, why we sent the pair of you out to investigate. A land of fire and ice, hmm? It seems that this lost belt will present its own challenges as I feared.
That's all we can see from here.
Thank you just the same. We have a faint visual here as well. The sun does indeed appear to be far larger than is normal, but it should be tens of billions of years before it reaches its size. We still don't understand how drastically a lost belt can change its environment, but if this one has transformed our sun into a red giant... Were that the case, forget the ice and snow. The whole world would be a scorched desert. Miss Curiolite may be able to survive such an environment, but Miss Ritsuka most assuredly would not.
Yes, which means that may not actually be our sun.
So it may well be something that looks like the sun, but in fact is not. I don't recall anything along those lines in Scandinavian or Germanic folklore. But I'll take another look just in case.
What about the fire? Yeah, that's the more pressing matter, I think.
I have a theory about that.
Oh, do enlighten us.
First, take a closer look.
Okay.
Nothing is actually burning. I'm not sure how it works, but the fire appears to be something entirely separate and floating above the mountains. Mysterious to be sure, but there's little cause to doubt this phenomenon as the result of some form of magecraft. Whatever it is, it must be the work of a crypto, or a lost belt servant. That I can say for certain.
I would concur. Assuming it's a lost belt servant, what could their true name be? Blue Fire.
Mr. Holmes really hit the nail on the head, Senpai.
Well, of course he did. He's famous for always finding the truth of any situation right away, true? That is his forte. And of course, for captivating readers with his brilliant and elegant deductions.
Ha ha ha. Thank you, Miss Curelight. Though I must admit, it's a touch embarrassing to be so effusively praised. Effusively praised for the novelizations of my cases. But perhaps it's not so bad every once in a while. I'm not usually one to skip right to the conclusion. But yes, I am quite certain that the one who created those flames is... What is it? Do calm yourself, foe.
Fo Q! I think we're being attacked. Fo, what is it? Something wrong? Oh! Dragon? I mean, dragons are usually rider class, right? So it wouldn't make sense for it to be a berserker. I mean, I guess it could be a berserker. Master, get behind me. Whomst? An enormous humanoid creature. Oh. An enormous humanoid creature, you say? I see that as troubling, most troubling indeed. Maybe it is the human of this lost belt. He appears to be about 5 meters tall. His arms are also very long. He's wearing some sort of mask. I think he's speaking a language of some kind, but... I can't make out what he's saying. It sounds more like an animal howling than any language I know of. Hello? Bonjour? Guten Tag? Ni hao? Konnichiwa? Please listen to me. We are not your enemy. We don't mean you any harm. We are... I don't think he cares. He doesn't understand. Master, I'm afraid he's coming right for us. Maybe he won't attack, or never mind. He's about to attack. I'll back you up. Understood. Moving to intercept the hostile. Yeah, good luck, Mash. Good luck. Alright, what is it? I'm sure it's something we've probably seen before. But what will be thrown at us? Yes, indeed. We fought... Jotun. I mean, that's not what it was called in the, I think it was the Wangina event for the challenge. I think it was the, no, not the challenge quest. The 90++ node. You fight one of these, I think. If I remember correctly. What? No, Jotun makes sense for Scandinavia. I was just... my stopping to think was me wondering, okay, well, if that's the case, what servants I'm going to be dealing with here? And I'm assuming probably the Valkyries. Or Valkyrie, that is. You know what? Just got Arcwid. Let's go ahead and throw her into the mix. Yeah. Why would we not use that? I may as well use this one. Wait, even at level 1 it does at least 50? Wow. Like, okay. Wow. Her scaling for her gauge skill is actually kind of nuts. Like, I knew it was 100 at level 10, but I thought maybe it'd be like more drastic jumps, maybe. Like maybe it starts at like 20 and then goes up by like okay. I did not expect her to just. I'm holding her Noble Phantasm for now. Actually, the strength's only increased for 3 turns. I want to have Draco's up though first, ideally. Nah, it's fine. No, I know there's no more waves. I know. I was wanting to... Actually, wait, her overcharge doesn't do much, does it? Yeah, I guess the overcharge wouldn't matter. Not really. Tis fine. Yeah. I mean, honestly, for an AoE Noble Phantasm, 58k. I mean, obviously her attack is buffed currently, but still not bad. Not bad at all, I would say. I know. Again, I've used her as support before, both in this form and her second ascension form. All right, let's finish this big fella off. Hopefully. Yeah, we'll play it safe with the Buster. Maybe we won't finish him off. I thought the Okay, we did.
つい指も踊りました。
Good. Oh yeah, she's gonna go up hella quick. Any after battle dialogue? No, okay.
先輩、
What a fool I was. Why would there be after battle dialogue? How ridiculous. Redonkulous. Her passive gives her 30% rainbow buff while Millennium Castle is active, and correct me if I'm wrong, but also stacks. Hang on. Let me actually look at her passives. Exactly. Or passive. Magic resist, arts effectiveness, crit strength. Yeah, okay. Kind of interesting how she has arts card effectiveness increased as a passive when her Noble Phantasm's a buster. But I guess you could say the same about Draco, because Draco I think has buster effectiveness, right? Or no, I guess not. I thought she did. Huh. Maybe I'm crazy. Apparently. Alright. Let's get a caster again. Yeah. Give me him. Alright, let's go. Let's goo. Goo all over the place. The battle's over. We've neutralized the threat. Honestly, Mash, good job taking down something like... What, she said 5 meters, right? She's, what, 160 centimeters, maybe? Not even, like, not even 2 meters. So, like, triple your height? If not more?
Battle's over. We've neutralized the threat.
Why don't we head back to the border? Yeah.
Thank you for your concern, Master, but I'm alright.
Are you? I don't know if I believe you. I don't really trust you. The sudden attack just had me a little out of breath is all. Nothing to worry about. Right. All my vitals are fine. I'm still good to go.
I'm doing my best to analyze the recording and battle data now, but at this point I can only say that the creature you fought is nothing like we've seen. Neither a heroic spirit nor a demonic beast. He was simply an enormous humanoid creature native to Scandinavia, one that could not possibly exist in the 21st century. A giant.
Did you say a giant? As in mythical giants?
Correct. I'm pleased you're already familiar with them. I read that a number of powerful giants used to live in Scandinavia. Of course, this was all a long time ago.
In the modern era, there have barely been any giant sightings in Sweden, Denmark, or Norway. Ain't Norway? What?
I believe most of them were during the Age of Gods, back when the old mystics still existed.
I'm sure there are some exceptions, but even so, to encounter one out of nowhere like this, and you beat it up. Way to go, MASH. Shaking my head.
Both Gerdolf and Mr. Munier are in something of a tizzy about this impossible encounter. But yes, in the year 2020, giants have long since ceased to exist. And yet you've obviously just met one, albeit one that tried to kill you even after you attempted to communicate with him. But still. I got a glimpse of his eyes behind the mask, and he seemed consumed by bloodlust.
So we're not gonna make any Jotun friends, I'm guessing. Unlike the Yaga who we had Paxi, I don't think we're gonna have any Jotuns to rely on.
So in this version of Scandinavia, creatures from the Age of Gods still live. That is most troubling. I considered the possibility, but I didn't think it would prove to be true so soon.
Damn you, Cryptas. Damn you for throwing something like this at us in only the second lost belt. Have you no sense of restraint?
That said, we are far from completely helpless. Miss Kirillite, Miss Ritsuka. To begin, I've updated our database with everything I could determine about this creature. We were unable to detect it from the border because Chaldea had no information about ancient giants. Furthermore, I also learned something rather unexpected about the ice and snow surrounding us. What about them? They are imbued with faint magical energy. The trace is so minute that only an expert mage would even be able to detect it at all. This small amount of magical energy created enough interference in our equipment that we were unable to detect the giant's approach. Da Vinci's still quite upset about it.
She says being plugged in to function as a bio unit dulls her senses.
Nonetheless, I'll do my best to update our data immediately. I'm also sending an update for the Ortonaxis firmware.
Oh? You'll be able to handle Jotuns easier now, maybe?
Right. Confirming update now. Master! I'm picking up new hostiles in our periphery. There's at least several ice beasts traveling alongside another giant.
Let's get out of here before we're surrounded.
Understood.
Too late. Too late.
I can see them up ahead. Master.
Time to fight then. Ain't no choice. It would seem. Okay. This should go well. Surely. Or not. Leave Arquid alone, you bullies. What did she ever do to deserve such ire? Aside from being scrum-diddly-umptious. Honestly, I could understand wanting to eat Arquid. You know. Maybe not in the same way they're thinking, but you know, neither here nor there. Really? I'd hope the other two would do a little bit more. Ah well. Actually, let's do this. Get some charge up. Alright, giant. Oh, you got a little butt buddy. I see.
つまん連中だな。他にやることないんじゃ。こういうのどうだ。
There we go.
つまん連中だな。
There we
他にやること
go.
ないの？
Perfect. Perfect.
抑えるように
剣を見せる。
Alright, let's do... Probably you first, right? Yeah, you first. You, then Aquedo.
幕を開けよ。
怖いもの知らず。
これぞ大軍師の究極陣地。帰らずの陣。
七つの竜よ。
翼と
I
なって
probably should have done maybe Draco first, but I wanted the defense down from
解消なし。
Zew.
空想具現。千の鎖。道を示す。仰ぎなさい。星を覆う天外を。
耐えられますか。
よか望みを声にせよ。
大きく
スペルビ
Alright, Jotun should die here. Yes, in diddly doodly. Ha. We're invincible, you silly beast. Ah, what a fool.
行くぞ。よーし。
我が舌を喜ばせろ。
無駄だ。罠だ。これでも勝ちは勝ちだよな。
What a gosh darn fool. Oh, an Yggdrasil sea. Okay. Alright. I mean, makes sense that, you know, that Scandinavia full of Jotuns would drop Yggdrasil seeds. Makes it does. Because, you know, the tree. If anything, that makes most sense for here. More than anywhere else.
That should wrap things up for now. We've defeated another giant and several ice beasts. I no longer detect any hostiles or magical energy signatures in our vicinity.
What? Wait, you're right, Mr. Holmes. I can sense faint magical energy around us, coming from the snow. Maybe it's a lost belt servant that can control snow?
I'm not sure, but that certainly seems possible. Let's hash that stuff out later, you two. For now, you should hurry back to the border.
Holmes, from now on, maybe start waiting until people are in a safe location before you start with your long-winded explanations. Yeah, that'd probably be better.
There's no guarantee there aren't
Other giants flying around in wait out there.
both of you get your butts back here, and be careful.
Anyway, great job collecting all this data right after we emerged. This should be a big help. I hope so. If we did this for nothing, I'm gonna be irate.
Oh, good, you're back. Welcome home, you two. It's good to be back. The Ortonax is working wonderfully. Thank you again for that. Glad to hear it.
Gordolf's having a little rest. Said he was having a nervous breakdown or something. I guess the emergency exit was pretty hard on him.
Guess all that worrying he did about scouting out our surroundings after we emerged was for nothing. I wouldn't say that. He's trying to keep us safe in his own way.
Naturally, his primary concern is his own survival, but that's still an important part of being a leader. Yeah, he ain't bad.
When things get dangerous, you snap to attention. When things get dicey,
You get right the hell out.
that's how things are supposed to go.
But the further removed the higher ups get from the
Action, the softer they get when it comes to making those calls. So in that sense, Director Gordolf
is exceedingly good at his job. Yeah, true. Yeah, can't really argue the logic. I'm not sure why, but he seems to treat any danger his field operatives are in as danger to his own life. As if we die, who's gonna stop things from destroying the Shadow Border?
I wonder what that's all about.
Maybe he had a really strict tutor growing up or something.
You know, like someone teaching him to think about war from the perspective of the people he's sending out onto the battlefield?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. That would definitely explain some things. Now you mention it, he always looked like he was in a lot of pain whenever Ritsuko was in a tight spot back in Russia. Talk about empathy. No wonder he was always kicking up such a fuss.
At any rate, make sure you write up the recon findings in a nice report template when you hand it off to him, if you don't mind.
That ought to be more than enough to keep old Gordy in the loop.
On a different note, you guys really had a rough time out there, didn't you, Yes, we did. Giants are beings from the Age of Gods. Not even mages have seen more than
The occasional fossil of them.
any survivors in an area where mystics were still in full force were probably seen as threats and taken out by the heroes of their respective ages. They're certainly not something you'd run into every day. I mean, you guys didn't see hide nor hair of them in any of the 7 eras you ray-shifted to, right?
Not even in the actual Age of Gods. No, we didn't.
And now we just happened to run into not 1 but 2 in modern-day Scandinavia.
I believe those giants you encountered were Jotnar, members of the Jotun race of giants. In the Age of Gods, the Norse world was composed of 9 realms. One such realm was Muspelheim, the land of flame. Another was Niflheim, the land of ice, through which an icy river of poison flowed. When these 2 realms collided, the poisonous frost melted. Then, when it was exposed to Muspelheim's heat, grew into a tremendous giant. This was Ymir, said to be the ancestor of all Norse giants. The race of giants that went on to spring forth from Ymir's body were called Jotun, the Frost Giants. These giants were truly beings belonging to the era when gods walked the earth. At times, the Jotnar would mix with the Norse gods, giving birth to new gods and giants alike. It's said that the surviving Jotnar eventually fell out of mythology and went on to become trolls. Damn, from a proud race of giants to trolls. That's rough.
But what you 2 saw today were no trolls. They were most definitely Jotnar.
Pretty crazy, huh?
Foe! Do you know a lot about giants, Holmes?
Haha,
well, I am Sherlock Holmes, you realize?
Yeah.
I am the one who finds the truth, regardless of my spirit origin. I believe I said as much when I introduced myself. No, sorry. I'm just having you on a bit.
You see, the paper moon is not the only thing I picked up while I was visiting the Atlas Institute.
Try Hermes.
Precisely.
Well, there I came in contact with the pseudo-spiritron calculation engine. Try Hermes. When I did so, I happened to peruse some secret medical data pertaining to giants?
Now I see, Holmes, you rascal.
Haha.
I don't see what's so funny.
Don't you ha me, Buster.
You're supposed to tell me these things before I need to know them.
It's not fair that
you get to do all the fun exposition.
Besides, we're a team. You know, we should be pooling our knowledge and stuff. I should take that under advisement.
Especially considering it comes from none other than the great Leonardo da Vinci herself.
All that said, I could certainly use a bit more information myself. Is this simply a Norse lost belt where a once lost race of giants still runs amok? No, I very much doubt that is all there is to it. Right, the ones you saw today were the powerful beings of mystics, but
they were also bloodlusted.
But they were still living creatures. If nothing else, I can say for sure that the beings we encountered weren't servants. Correct. They were indeed absolutely not servants. Based on what we know from Russia, we can assume there is a being here who rules over this lost belt, and a crypta who tends to the Tree of Emptiness. But our primary concern is with the latter. There remains a strong possibility that we will come into conflict with the former as well. That said, our goal this time does not include engaging them in battle. Our intent is to cross Scandinavia without them ever knowing we were here.
That might be a bit too late.
Yep, exactly. Still, we should really take a little break first, don't you think? Thankfully, there's a lot more magical energy concentrated here than there was in Russia, so the border shouldn't have any problem recharging. We'll set off again in a little while, so make sure you two rest up where you can. Hiking across snowy mountains does a real number on your legs and back, you know. I very much recommend getting those kinks ironed out while you can.
Why the smirk while saying that?
Right. Oh, but first, I almost forgot. Mr. Holmes. Yes, Miss Kirillite. I'm sorry, but back when we had just looked over the mountain range, I remember how you and Senpai were talking.
At the time, there was something else we wanted to ask about. Oh right, yeah, what's the deal with that fire we saw? Who do you think caused it?
Yes, the strange fire that kept burning without spreading. Do you know what it is, Mr. Holmes? I can't say I know for certain. I only have a hypothesis, albeit one in which I am quite confident. I suppose I would make this more of an induction than a deduction. At any rate, yes, that fire is none other than...
They just gonna keep blueballing us about this, really?
Another alert? Foe!
What the hell? Are our sensors busted? Crap, no, it's worse. They're working perfectly. Wait to go, Holmes. A freaking enormous magical energy signal just popped up out of nowhere. It's like a magical reactor core. This monster's on par with the Angerboda powered by the Greater Grail we saw in London.
Maybe it's the real Angerboda! Probably not. Probably not. That'd be funny though.
Senpai, 新年明けましておめでとうございます。慣れた頃ほど油断しやすいもん。
Assault of the Demonic Sword. End. Hang on. Yoink.
Oh, unknown! Unknown, huh? Okay, yeah, it's comforting. You know what? Sure. Let's bring Holmes. Why not? Haven't used him much. No, I have used him before, but it was a while ago. Yeah.
Damn it, we had no warning whatsoever. The thing just appeared out of nowhere.
It's most likely a servant. They may have been using their spirit form. That's true. A servant could sneak up like that. Mr. Mounier, is that servant from proper human history? Or maybe...
Well, the spirit origin's pattern matches what's registered in Chaldea, but their color seems like it might be a little different. Sorry, I don't know. All I can say for sure is that they're hostile.
At least if that massively powerful curse packed into the magical energy they've got aimed right at us is anything to go by, they are. You know, that's probably a pretty safe bet, yeah?
A lost belt servant. The border spirit radar is one of the most sensitive in the world. if it failed to detect the servant, until now, then they're probably getting some help with their presence concealment. Had they wished to do so, I have no doubt they could have gotten much, much closer. And yet they instead chose to release their spirit form right in front of us, making their presence known.
Maybe they want to negotiate? Maybe? They must be incredibly confident, or perhaps incredibly cruel.
Mr. Mounier, can you put them up on the monitor?
No, I can't. They're right in our blind spot. And how the hell can you all be so calm about this anyway? I mean, I know we can't exactly put the borders pedal to the metal right now, but still. What do we do? Do we tell the rest of the staff about this? Most of them are still on break. For that matter, don't you think we should get going already, Da Vinci?
Not just yet. The servant may still be trying to figure out where we are. No doubt they are aware we are nearby, but I believe they are unable to determine our exact location. That said, the longer we stay, the greater our chances of being discovered. As good as the border's camouflage is, it does not render us invisible.
No, I don't really, again, I have a bunch of sabers already, so I don't really want Takaru at all. I'm saving for Ushi in, on the 17th.
As good as the border's camouflage is, it does not render us invisible. It's good at keeping its magical energy hidden.
That doesn't help if someone starts searching the old-fashioned way. Yeah, just blasting all over the place. Or just, yeah. Or just, you know, looking with their eyes.
Well, Holmes, Ritsuka, what do you want to do? Do we keep quiet and hope they don't find us?
No, we shouldn't just wait around. Let's go, say hello. Wait, it's in 5 days? Or Well, I guess it's less time I'll have to worry about holding onto my Saint Quartz. Okay, I guess they're doing it 10 days earlier than JP, okay. Well. I mean, yeah, it shouldn't affect anything. I don't know why I'm being like, because if anything that helps, I'll have less, need to hold back from pulling.
Indeed not. Allowing an intruder on board would be the worst possible scenario by far. None of the staff are fighters, after all. The moment an enemy gets inside is the moment a little adventure comes to an abrupt end.
Yeah.
Mr. Mignet, what is the latest on our mysterious foe? Have they moved at all since appearing?
No, they haven't moved a muscle since they showed up. But I still can't see anything on the monitor. They're right in the middle of our blind spot.
Then it would seem they're waiting to see how we react. Bold, yet with a touch of caution. Da Vinci, I'd like you to start up the border's engine the moment we step outside. Make sure it's ready to depart at any time. At any time.
You got it? Make sure you buy us enough time for it to warm up, okay?
I'm well aware. Now then, shall we be on our way? Miss Kirielite, Miss Ritsuka? Given that we're the only ones here capable of fighting, it must fall to us to greet any hostile or boorish guests.
Right. I've got my exoskeleton ready to go. So I can activate it at a moment's notice. As long as it's just for a few minutes, I should be able to fight.
I'm ready too.
I'm ready. Senpai.
No, we are not diving.
We make an emergency dive. I will not have you going out to face an unknown and extremely powerful foe. I absolutely forbid it. An emergency dive is the only viable option.
Director Godolph, you're awake now?
Of course I'm awake. and I overheard your entire conversation. A situation like this calls for a retreat, not meeting the enemy on their own terms. Traversing this lost belt to make a getaway is out of the question as well. If the enemy has found us out, their first order of business is to hide again, and that means a zero sail. They'll never find us once we dive back into void space. We can make a clean getaway.
That's true. If safety is our top priority, that's definitely an option. We'd have to figure out how to get back to reality once we set sail. But it would give us a secure way out of this particular predicament. That said, are you sure about this? We still haven't finished reapplying the logic formula.
Yeah, we could die, Gerdolf.
There's a non-zero chance that our armor just comes off in void space and we end up adrift there forever. Let's see, I'd say the odds of that happening are maybe 0.003%.
That's nothing. I've never even come close to winning a race in my own vehicle with odds like that. At any rate, given that our only master is still unable to summon servants, fighting one as powerful is out of the question. Need I remind you of the sort of enemies we faced back in Russia? These lost belt servants are tremendously powerful. I learned that lesson all too well when one of them destroyed Chaldea. Just because the girl is able to fight now doesn't mean you should run to battle at every chance you get. As your commander, and your director, I will support whatever option I feel offers the best chance of survival, no matter how slight the difference. No, in fact, this is an order. As my advisors, it's your job to justify my decisions, not mine. And let's not forget our biggest concern here. We don't even know who this mysterious, probably lost belt servant even is. In which case, the only option I'll even consider is for us to make our escape.
You never waver when it comes to keeping us all alive, huh? Alright, I'll trust your instincts here.
We'll see. I know we do battle here, given we had to set our team, so I don't know if that'll happen.
Sorry, Holmes. Sorry, Ritsuga. The servant outside is so strong that I'm taking the ship back to void space.
I'm not saying you wouldn't survive the encounter with whoever it is out there, just that it'd get real ugly real fast.
And if the fight ended up damaging the border as well, that'd be bad news for all of us.
So we're doing another zero sail? Still, if that means Mash and Ritsuka can avoid this fight, I guess it is for the best.
Alright, you take the wheel, Mounier. I'm gonna head back to the computer room and plug into the border. Director, Holmes, I'm leaving this place in your hands. Will I go
verify our existences as perfectly as ever? I guess I'd better buckle up? Apparently.
Right,
I'll go along with whatever you decide, Senpai.
Here we go again. Has it ever even once occurred to you to obey your commander?
Hey, at least now we're all discussing our opinions. That's a big step up from how things were before.
You should be proud for inspiring this change, boss man.
Fo-fo!
Oomph. I can tell you're just buttering me up, Mounier. At any rate, let's get this zero sail started before that servant makes a move.
Okay, I'm patched in and all synced up. Expanding void reality observation device, Paper Moon.
I don't think that servant's gonna let us leave, though.
All hands be seated. And need I remind you, do not forget your seatbelts.
Fo-fo-fo!
Expanding logic formula on Shadow Border's external armor. Expansion's currently at 90%, 93%, 98%.
There. Now we just dive in and make up the rest as we go along.
Yeah, that inspires confidence. Removing existence verification for reality space. Shortened future prediction. Hypothetically prove mirror world plane in 10 seconds. Relaxing space-time friction. Decompression for 0.9 seconds. Good. Looks like we made it just in time. Holmes.
Let me take over the wheel, Mr. Mounier. In the meantime, would you be so kind as to keep your eyes on the sensors?
Now you got it.
Shadow Border, untether from reality.
Void space dive, 0 sail, unfurl. Something tells me we didn't dive. So, you know, something tells me, Senpai, I still have sensation in my extremities, and I can still feel normal gravity. It feels like something dragged us up. Like, no. You're not leaving here.
Oh, what's going on? This is in the void space. Did we fail to dive? Are we still stuck in reality?
They got us good. Whoever's out there since their spell's going off and caught us in a split second.
They're physically holding us back. I'm impressed. Just their physical strength exceeds the border's maximum output.
Did you say physical strength?
The magical energy signal is getting stronger. Wait, hang on. The servants literally grabbed hold of the border.
Okay, so it aimed a curse at us, and it's insanely strong. Who could both curse us and pound us into a pulp?
What the?
Are we floating? Don't remove your seatbelts. All hands, assume crash positions.
Flipped upside down.
Faux. Cow.
What happened? I don't understand. So dizzy. Is everyone alright?
Are you hurt, Senpai?
I'm fine, just a little dizzy.
Oh, thank goodness.
They just picked us up.
Yes, I felt the same thing.
It was as though the shadow border was picked up and then flung somewhere far away.
It is precisely what happened.
Style 7 stopped their 0 sail in its tracks before simply tossing us like a baseball. Who could be that strong? Heracles, I guess. But he doesn't use magic, so having a curse aimed at us wouldn't fit with him.
That is truly incredible strength. Perhaps they're a berserker. Whatever their class, they clearly possess immense strength to perform such a feat. I expect they're a rather combat-oriented servant. Probably one focusing on being on the front lines, but...
My attention, please. I'm afraid that crash completely shut down all our navigation systems. Oh! I can try to bypass the damaged systems, but even that's gonna take some time. And then there's all the damage to the suspension. Luckily, we didn't end up completely upside down, but we're still not going anywhere anytime soon.
I'm sorry, everyone.
We can't dive or run away on land anymore.
You have nothing to apologize for, Da Vinci. The fault lies with our uninvited guest, not you.
You mean we're out of options? This is bad. Really, really bad.
You're damn right it is. Magical energy signal incoming. I can tell this heroic spirit's some kind of big shot. And I'm pretty sure they're done waiting around since they're headed straight for us. 100 meters? 50 meters? Damn it, now they're right on top of us.
Fuck you.
The magical energy signature that I'm pretty sure is a servant has collided with our exterior.
It's melting our external armor now.
What kind of barbarian are they? It sounds like they're trying to cut their way through our defenses.
Do they realize how much time I spent reinforcing this armor? There's no way anything should be able to break through it this easily. Well, they're doing it. I mean, the old me spent a ton of time making sure of that. What kind of weapon or noble phantasm do they have that could possibly do this?
Senpai.
Let's go, Mash. We're out of options, Gordolf.
Hold it, you two. Don't you think you should wait a bit and see what's happening before you...
We don't have time to wait and see anymore. I'm sorry, but it's all up to you two now. Holmes, you go with them too. Watch out.
That servant's magical energy is right up there with Ivan's. Oh! like full power big elephant Ivan, or true body Ivan, or like crown head Ivan. Make sure you don't hold anything back, or you might not be coming back at all. Got it? We got it.
I'm well aware. I saw the spirit origin for myself earlier. If nothing else, I can promise this. I will keep Miss Ritsuka alive. In the meantime, Da Vinci, please focus on keeping yourself and the border safe, and getting us up and running as quickly as possible.
Alright, what hulking monstrosity are we dealing with?
I've opened the hatch. I can confirm the hostile servant is on the border's port side.
Step away from there right now. Okay, it's what's his face? Sigurd. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well now, so that unsightly slab is this thing's door then?
Is that a lost built servant? But then, what is this ominous feeling I sense from the spirit origin?
So, a human and two heroic spirits. No wait, neither of you are pure heroic spirits, are you? You've both got something else mixed in. Huh. Hybrids then. Interesting.
Holmes isn't...
The hostile servant is closing in. Now I see. You certainly do appear to be a powerful heroic spirit. The border's external armor is one thing, but to think you even cut your way down to the multi-layered, bounded fields surrounding the inner hull. Back at Chaldea, Da Vinci, Nitocris, and Paracelsus all worked to ensure those bounded fields would be as strong as any from the Age of Gods. They should have been as strong as a fortress made of divine iron, yet you cut through them like so much butter, and without even revealing your true name. Fascinating. Tell me, how did such a powerful demonic sword possibly come to be?
I'm pretty sure that's Sigurd, right? I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Are his eyes glowing red? I was right, it is a demonic sword then. I thought it seemed far too dark to be a sacred sword.
I don't talk to humans.
Rude? Racist?
Well now.
He hit so hard. He's still only using that short sword at his waist. This must be the incredible strength that let him pick the border up and just throw it. You're not getting past me.
I couldn't even see him swing a sword.
Oh, well that's because he didn't. Not his long sword anyway. He's still using that short one. That's how I barely managed to make it out. And only just. He is truly an incredible master swordsman. If only Miss Miyamoto were here right now. I'm afraid those were little more than jabs as far as he was concerned, Miss Curiolite. Though I'm certain that is not how it felt to you.
Have you lost your mind, girl? Why are you still standing there? You should be throwing down that impenetrable shield of yours and running for all you're worth by now. You don't look like enough of an idiot to fail to see how outmatched you are.
I will endure if I have to. I can't let everything end here. Faux foul? Foul faux faux? A foe? Not again. You shouldn't be here. You need to get back inside the border. And thank you for worrying about me. That servant is truly incredibly strong. Much stronger than me and the Organax. Something about him reminds me of another hero.
Yeah, because him and Siegfried are, yeah.
Another heroic spirit we've met. don't know if I can beat him, even with Holmes's help, but still. That doesn't matter. Even if I'm not strong enough, I can't back down. This journey isn't ours alone. Not anymore. Maybe it never was. Just because I may not be up to the task in front of me now, doesn't mean I can give up on the journey as a whole.
Steel yourself. You got the smash. Maybe your bravery will inspire him and he'll want to join our side. Right, Shirley?
Fofo?
A journey, huh? Frankly, I don't care where it is you're going. I have my own destination in mind. I'm afraid this just isn't your lucky day, girl. Or yours, kid. Now that our paths have crossed, I'm going to kill you and take your prized treasure with me.
Another short sword.
Here he comes. I'll back you up as well. Shaking my head. Can't believe Sigurd would be so evil. Oh. I imagine this is break the break bar and the ends, right? Like usual. What does Sherlock do? Sister gather rate. Oh, she's a bit weak, but level 70 should be fine. Alright.
眩しく望みを声にせよ。熱し薄まきバンときた。ロササングリス。
甘い。
Yeah, nice try, buddy. Nice try, man. Ow. Alright, you kind of hurt. Good night, Gogeta. I probably shouldn't be giving him free charge on his double phantasm, but you know, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. If you could stop attacking our only archer that we have, that'd be great. I'd love that, actually, you know.
Well, Yokaro. 眩しく行くぞ。
Maybe I should have just charged
なだれた
Arquid's Noble Phantasm and used it. Oh! Yeah, she'll probably die next turn anyway, so you know what? Frick it.
耐えられますか？
At this point, I should have just used it immediately, but... Alright. Stun you. We'll hold him off a little bit.
ではいらっしゃい。歌我が舌を喜ばせろ。
Oh, come on.
では報酬を与えましょう。水、熱、震え、別れ。我が手の上で弾けるがいい。
Wow.
7つの竜よ。
I thought I should do at least like 30k, but apparently not. Well, we might be in a spot of trouble. Just a wee spot of trouble. No crit, that's unfortunate. Alright.
光が
Perfect,
あ
perfect,
よ
perfect.
へいへい
続きよかろうバンとか
Here, we can absorb his noble
そ
phantasm
こ
with
だな
little problem. Assuming he even uses his noble phantasm. Which is not, he's just using his extra attack. Okay. They usually do on first encounter, but you never know. You never know what they could pull out. Whew. Alright, Siggy boy. Yeah, weren't expecting us to put up this much of a fight, hmm? Oh, what was that?
Thank you, Holmes. That beam was a big help. Ah, no trouble at all, Miss Curate. I must say, though, you certainly don't hold back. Not to say that you're not pulling your punches quite a bit, Lost Belt Servant.
I don't suppose you'd be so kind as to introduce yourself. I doubt he will, but you never know.
Ah, yes, I see. Now that I've seen your strength up close, some things have become abundantly clear. Your swordsmanship is exquisite, surely the finest in the Norse lands. You are also immensely strong and have both the knowledge and reflexes to dodge my magical energy beam with ease. You knew, didn't you? You knew I was the heroic spirit capable of using magecraft attacks. Your wisdom alone is truly a force to be reckoned with. Which means... you must be the one who slew the evil dragon and consumed his knowledge. Am I wrong?
Oh?
You are the child of Sigmund, King of Francia, and Hjördis, daughter of King Elimi. Even among other peerless heroes, who stand head and shoulders above ordinary people in strength, intelligence, and all other aspects. You were hailed as the greatest warrior king of them all. A phenomenal swordsman, who reforged your father's demonic sword, the one he earned after overcoming Odin's trial of Barnstalker. Then you don't mean... You are the fearsome warrior who defeated King Hundling's army, thereby avenging King Sigmund. You are the brave hero who single-handedly flew Fafnir, the evil dragon consumed by greed, who hoarded his riches in the caves of Nidahedar. You are the one who made a loyal friend out of Sleipnir's foe, Grani, who would gladly carry you to the ends of the earth. You are the great hero who ate the dragon's heart, gaining unimaginable power and the wisdom of the gods. Your true name is Sigurd. You stand alongside Siegfried as one of the most powerful heroes of all Norse myth. The Dragon Slayer! However, that raises a number of questions. A true legend you may be, but that doesn't explain where your monstrous strength comes from. More importantly, why do your eyes glow red?
Huh. So you're a clever one on the side of proper human history, hmm? Now what then? Now that you know who you're up against, how do you intend to fight him?
Sigurd, the great hero of Norse legend. After seeing how fast, sharp, and heavy his blades are, I'm convinced. And those are just his short swords. He still hasn't swung what I believe to be his true blade. The demonic sword of Graham, even once.
I thought I saw him swinging at least once or twice. In gameplay, maybe.
Ah, yes, I suppose it would have seemed that way.
But I'm afraid, bluntly, he was doing no more than casually parrying our attacks. Parrying. He has yet to use it offensively. We still haven't seen what it's truly capable of. Enough of your yapping. This pressure's intense. Yeah, he's something else. Oh. A temporary power-up spell? Huh. Out of my way.
Look out, he's going to use Graham!
Die, human.
Oh, no you don't. She may be human, but I'm a heroic spirit. One, I might add,
Who has seen more than his fair share of combat.
My apologies, but I can't have you using grams so close to the border.
Yeah. Shut up.
Guess you so-called heroic spirits are more fragile than I thought.
Holmes. Senpai. Senpai. Holmes' right arm is gone.
Okay, one thing. You so-called heroic spirits. I can't tell if that's him deriding them as a fellow heroic spirit, or if maybe he's not a heroic spirit at all and he's actually the king of this lost belt. Or both. Could be both. I won't let Holmes die.
Thank you, Senpai.
But no, he was marked as a servant, wasn't he? So yeah, no, he'd have to be a servant.
Fufao, Kiao.
Could still be both.
Go after him. Leave me here.
Senpai.
Emergency heal?
Holmes, why did you stop her?
Please stay still so Senpai can, you know. Ooh. That looks pretty dope. And horrible, but dope.
Don't, please.
Save as much of your magical energy as you can. Graham most certainly lives up to its reputation.
But as you can see, my heart and brain are fine. I may be badly injured, but my spirit core is intact. I'm still a heroic spirit, remember?
It will take a deal more than that to finish me.
Fufo, Kiao.
I can very well fail to do my part after your rousing speech, Miss Curiolite. Never mind me. You need to go after him. Remember, he said he was going to take something that lies inside the shadow border. That must be why he attacked us. Whatever it is he's after, we cannot let him have it. Elementary, my dear. Miss Curiolite.
On the slight, this is your noble phantasm.
Precisely. As you're aware,
it should provide both you and Miss Ritsuka with a significant boost in strength. It may not be quite at full capacity, but it should still be rather potent for anyone attempting to fight in a desperate situation, such as yourselves.
In my estimation, Sigurd appears to be a frightfully unnatural being.
Unnatural?
I'm certain he isn't yet fully acclimated. There's a chance you may still be able to defeat him.
Just be straight with us for once, man.
I'm sorry, it's rather hard to explain when I'm sober.
Do you want us to bring you some void dust? Is that what you want?
I'm afraid. I'm having difficulty putting my thoughts my thoughts in order.
Holmes. Vital sense confirmed. He's lost a lot of magical energy. But aside from that, it's just like he said. His spirit core is still intact, Senpai.
Alright. I guess we'll leave him here. Hopefully he doesn't get frostbite in his wound. If servants can even get frostbite. Maybe they can.
I'm right.
Oh, Holmesy. I must have passed out. Good, they're gone. Whew. I see. So this is what a blow from a demonic sword feels like. How truly excruciating. perhaps is exacerbated by the fact that I've never experienced such a deep wound before. So this is the sort of pain you smiled through, eh, Elena? Who's that? So you're still thinking clearly. Now I feel silly for ever worrying about you. Just sit tight, Holmes. Someone will come by to help you out just as soon as I finish evacuating everyone from the rear hatch. We might not be able to use the border's facilities right now, but we should be able to replenish your magical energy. Just hang in there a little longer. At least we know from your battle that this hostile servant isn't here to destroy the border. Isn't here to destroy the border. If we're lucky, he'll leave it mostly intact. So just hold tight for a bit, okay? Understood. That said, I'm afraid my mental fortitude can only do so much here. To be honest, I'm in real danger of disappearing. I'm afraid he inscribed a death rune into me, you see. One wrong move and that will be it for me. A death rune? But there aren't any runes that can kill a heroic spirit. No, wait. I forgot about the primordial runes. The ones Odin created that served as a magecraft foundation in the Age of Gods. Then you mean... yo? I do indeed. You saw a battle for yourself. Sigurd learned a number of runes from the Allfather's daughter. He must have inscribed it the moment he cut off my right arm. It would seem he truly has it out for me. So I'm afraid if I push myself too hard, my spirit core will fail. Happily, I can at least speak as long as I remain still, though the pain is still quite exquisite. Gosh, you really are just hanging by a thread. Okay, wait a second, I'll be right there. Right. There's so much I need to tell you, but... I'm afraid I keep slipping in and out of consciousness. I'm finding it difficult to concentrate and... for some reason my thoughts keep turning to the past. Holmes! Don't you die on us, you son of a bitch! Finchy, would you give Godolph a message for me? Tell him to stay put, no matter what is taken. I'm certain Sigurd has no personal interest in humans, or heroic spirits. After all, he's... Holmes? Holmes? Okay, it didn't play the disappearing sound. The it didn't play that, so he's alright. Right? Yeah, he's fine. I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting really hungry. I think, even though we're in the middle of a section, I think I might stop here. And leave it off on that cliffhanger. Well, this was, an eventful start to a Lost Belt. Well, that's for sure. I can only hope Sigurd, that is, joins us, but I doubt it. You know, have a little bit of a tussle, then maybe he joins up with us later, but I get the feeling that's not what's gonna happen. That's probably well outside the realm of what's going to be happening here. And I'm gonna cope that Holmes will live, because again, we didn't hear the fade away, so we'll save him surely. I believe.
Yeah, we got Archwid or Archetype Earth, however you want to put it. Which, you know, was I would say was a favorable outcome as far as the GSSR went. I maybe would have been slightly happier with Tiamat, like very, very slightly, but I can accept. Not accept, because accept implies I would be unhappy in any way. Yeah, I'm perfectly okay with her. Now though, I'm wondering if I should maybe drop some summon tickets. No, I really don't want Takaru. I really don't. Yeah. I think yeah, her banner should actually be tonight, I believe, for New Year's banner, but I'm gonna wait until her rerun during Lilim Harlot. Just because I do want to save for Ushi. And yeah, that's true. Since it's happening on the 7th rather than the 17th, Takaru will still be around. So yeah, we can. If I get lucky with Ushi, for all I know, Ushi will take everything I have, and potentially still not get her. So you know, who knows? Ideally, it won't come to that though, but it depends. Will I get BB luck, where I got her on 2 polls, or will I get Tonalico luck, where it took 600 and something Saint Courts? You know, it could go either way, but. Anyway, that's gonna do it. Gonna continue tomorrow though, and hopefully see if Holmes lives. I'm gonna say 100. Yeah, I was thinking about doing a special stream for 800, but I didn't know what to do. Cause like yeah. But thank you. I just feel, man, I've been so lazy. I really. Cause I wanted to do like something for like when I hit 750, and I never did that because I just procrastinated, and then it got to be a month later, and I was like, I don't know. I just don't know what would make good, like, milestone content, I guess. It's like, I'm happy for hitting 800, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for not getting things done when I should. Like, it should not have taken me this long to get 90% done with, like, the Moonlight Lost Room React, for example. Which I'm still hoping will go up this Tuesday. It's like, it's pretty much done. I just have to put a disclaimer at the start saying this was recorded before starting Lost Belt 1. And yeah, and a few other things, but it's pretty much done. I don't know. I stress myself out by thinking about how much I procrastinate. Which, yeah, I don't know. Which I think makes me procrastinate more. So it's a very unhealthy cycle. It's a very, very, yeah, very poor headspace to be in. But anyway, like I was saying though, I think that's gonna do it. Stop before I get any more depressing. And yeah, I was hoping to finish Lost Belt 2. I say I was about to end, and then I start another tangent, of course. I wanted to finish Lost Belt 2 before the FSR event, but now that it's supposedly happening on the 7th, that's not happening. So I guess we'll probably take a break in the middle of LB2 to do the FSR event. So that'll be interesting. Let me ask you the reason for why I wanted to speedrun LB2 to get to before FSR. Mainly for the Saint Quartz. That the Saint Quartz was the main reason. Plus, I feel like it'd be better to not, because stopping the main story, like a chunk of the main story, to then go play an event is, I don't know. I feel like it breaks up the flow. I don't know. It just feels weird. Like I would have, you know, so that way I could have done the event before, like in the in-between, so that way I'm not like doing something else in the, yeah. Does it make sense? So I'm not interrupting the main story for event content, I guess, is my main reasoning. Speaking of, interesting. They don't even have it on the roadmap. I guess it's probably at the end of 2025's. Can't do it. Okay, true. I do go play other games. I don't know how to put it. Feels different when it's the same game, I guess. It's, again, it's purely a mental thing for me. I feel weird doing something else in a game. In the same game, that is, when I'm like it'd be like being in like the climax of like Mass Effect 3, right? Actually, Mass Effect is, no, I guess it works. Like being in like right before the climax of Mass Effect 3 and then going to a different planet right before you know, destroy the galaxy to kill the Reapers. Like, you know what? The Reapers can wait. Let's go do something else. I guess. I don't know. Again, I don't know why I feel that way about it, but I just do. Anyway, sorry. I ended up taking I have a bad habit of doing that. I start to outro and then I start talking about something else, and it you know, it's a problem. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Like I said, I'm gonna go eat. Thank you guys for hanging out. And yeah. Alright. This is the DLC. I never did the Mass Effect 3 DLCs. At some point, I need to go back and replay Mass Effect 3 and do the DLC, because I heard it made it better. You're not playing XGO, you're doing the other DLC for you. Yeah. In a certain kind of way, I suppose. Not entirely wrong. But yeah. All right, take 1792. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll catch you personally in a game store. The fake time limit always gonna ruin the experience for me because I'm kind of rushed. Yeah. I agree. That's why I mean, I guess it depends on the game. Oh, here I go again. Like, some games I feel like it works if narratively, like, say the hero has like an RPG, right? Like fantasy RPG where there's a wizard who can like suppress whatever world destroying event is happening briefly. Said brief amount of time could be, you know, a day or a few weeks as you do all the side quests. You never know. Or, something of that sort. Yeah. But yeah, anyway. I'll catch you later. Peace before I tangent again.